you need is faithful souls. Have no fear, my son, my kingdom you alone. 400 years, no knowledge of your home. Now is a chance to reclaim your throne.
Okay, Pop, yeah, no doubt. A bunch of bad ones have taken him out. But he reckons I got weapons, what's he talking about? I don't like the way the devil's running his mouth.
Don't watch that, it's just an excuse. See, they don't like you, son, cause you tell the truth.
Hey, yo, Pop, United Nations turned up. They wanna search my yard till I them up.
Nah, son, you leave them to me. Now you deal with that caution, call it power factory. I got fire for them bad side for those who oppose me. Hurricane, tornadoes, earthquakes, you'll see.
Exodus, the devil we no like. So we left from Rome upon the star line. Sir Marcus Garvey upon my mind. So we left upon the black star line. Exodus, the devil we no like. So we left from Rome upon the star line. Sir Marcus Garvey upon my mind. So we left upon the black star line.
I'm interested in the truth, and the truth is what I will pursue.
We have to recognize who our major enemy is.
The biggest challenge before you right now is, who is the enemy?
Life is becoming increasingly miserable for everybody. But when they find out who it is, it's causing trouble.
I will tell you what the mainstream media will not tell you.
That the Jewish people control the media.
People need to get out of denial very quickly, because your children are being poisoned, you're being poisoned, children are being indoctrinated and programmed and turned into software programs at school. You're being poisoned in the air, you've been poisoned from the sky, poisoned in your food, poisoned in your water, poisoned by vaccine. How bad does it have to get before people in vast numbers realize that the world ain't like they thought it was?
I'm talking to you. The principle and the idea was divide and rule, divide and conquer. $1 billion a week spent on war. 15 million Americans are homeless in the street. We can build Iraq and Afghanistan, but leave you with nothing.
You have to come together. There has to be a foundation of unity before you to get anywhere, especially if you're black in this country.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing else.
I want you to hear me.
Yeah!
Speak the truth regardless of circumstance and stand up on the truth from the cradle to the grave.
Devils on some dirty way. Yo, the murder was the case they gave. And it was just the other day when they stepped out the caucus man in caves. The murder's undercover blood. But guess what? They slipped up. The people are starting to wake up, and as soon as we get together, they ain't here to apologize for the outcry while we're on the genocide. Till today, from the time we arrived, Mother Africa is still dripping blood from her eyes. Ain't turning around my words. I'ma tell the truth till it hurts. And I'ma keep spreading love to the peace. But right now, I'ma drop the truth on the verse. And I'ma dismiss unrighteousness. My backside, they can kiss, they can't handle this. I got a long list of brains with power and fists who insist government's taking a piss.
Exodus, the devil we no like. So we left from Rome upon the star line. Sir Marcus Garvey upon my mind. So we left upon the black star line. Exodus, the devil we no like. So we left from Rome upon the star line. Sir Marcus Garvey upon my mind. So we left upon the black star line.
Come, let me bust the things for all you hustling. I might scuff your Tims how I'm busting in the fight. I'm struggling on some other ting. Head wrap and skull cap, I call my brother king. Wagwanin and you know that. It's like a prison wing, how we keep the show pack. I don't hold back. Radio, play my whole track. Most cats listen closest phone taps. There's no black in the Union Jack. Britain flows pierce ears like guns with studs in them. Count bars like you're stuck in prison. Count scars on a body that's slug ridden. It's the fusion of the ease, brews and ganja, giving these youths delusions of grandeur. And only a few who've left to have a stretch on the psychiatric wing return to the manor. I'm the one that rap for them people suffering. Try function in a world that's got no love for them. Enough of them would rather vote for Big Brother than vote for them hypocrites that's in the government. F them then. It's Emmanuel and Brother Ben.
Exodus,
Felt it your entire life. There's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter.
You think the US don't have weapons of mass destruction?
You ain't know what's gonna work. It's a general idea. With who? I'm working on it.
Jumbo, Otep, please, Salama. This is Genesis Radio. My name is Sayshara, here for the next couple of hours and beyond on www.genesisradio.co.uk. And I definitely want to big up and rise up our beloved brother DJ Riggs for his, as you know, marathon genre of music, and the vibrations and the sensations that he's going to give you in terms of those musical vibrations, okay? And yeah, you know, yeah, we love the rare grooves and different forms of genre of music, and here on Genesis Radio, that's what we produce, okay? So I want to thank all those DJs out there that's air on this Genesis platform, and definitely want to big up all the radio presenters that's keeping this Genesis whole thing afloat, and want to rise up the family, big up D-Roll and his family, big up all of the families out there for all the radio DJs and presenters, and I want to big up the big, wide London, north, south, east and west, and all of the, I would say, United Kingdom, or Britain, England, here. And yes, we want to rise up the international community as well. Yeah, most definitely, for your time, for tuning in here on Genesis, okay? And we got really a lot to go through, so it's really up to you how we begin to even look at things, okay, and why we even having these kind of conversations, all right? So I just want to say, before I continue, I want to say, rather willing that you're in good spirits, in the best of health, and life is definitely treating you well. And I want to definitely give my condolences for all those people out there who recently lost loved ones. We'll never forget our people who, you know, have gone off to the ancestral realms, okay? We have to pay homage to our ancestors, and our people who are generally, who are not well at the moment, we have to give them a lot of love for those people that's not well. And we have to continue as a group of people, as a nation of people as a whole, as whatever you want to call yourself out there, African Caribbean and African Black, African Descendant, Afrikan Heritage, roots and culture, and that's what you're about, then you're in a good place right now, okay? But we do talk about all kinds of subjects. There's no limitation here on Genesis Radio, and this discussion is really how you want to really move it, okay? And we have to continue as best as we possibly can while we have the time, yeah, in our short lives, to be able to look at so many different things, all right? And obviously it depends where you're at, whether you're interested. Me personally, I would just say that it's up to individuals what you say and you do in your life, okay? And you make these kind of choices, okay? You're entitled to. But at the same time, we have to be able to guide each other, support and advise and assist, and do whatever we can possibly within our little semblance of power, yeah, that we continue to uplift our people. So I want to say, yeah, thank you. I've just received a text, so I'm presuming really tuned in, okay, and you're tuning me in. I want to thank Auntie Jean. Most definitely I want to give out those announcements, okay, to the community, the wider community, around some of the things that we need to be able to support, or just for us to connect and network and gather together, you know, meet each other, socialize and relate, do the things, the everyday things, the natural things that we need to do, okay? And yeah, I'm going to big up Auntie Jean for all the work that she's doing, and continue to tune in. I'll be talking about Auntie Jean's progression, around the Garvey Village Enterprise concept, all right, where we're, looking to be able to have our own buildings, okay, our own premises, and I think that we need to focus so much on the fact that we need these kind of centers or these kind of places where our people can get support, okay? And people's doing the work out there. I want to big up those people that's putting in work every time, okay, whether you're an individual or whether you're in a group, organization, association, foundation, or a collective. All right, so just to read off the text message for this announcement. IG's African Cultural Market, in respect or in relation to African History Month, okay? Notice that it says African History Month, okay, not Black History Month, okay? So for some people out there, that's debatable, okay? But yeah, that's what we need to be talking, that kind of language, all right? African History Month. And we got 3 beautiful brothers, the returning 3 heavyweight kings, King Andrew Muhammad, King Tony Warner, and King Robin Walker. This event goes on Sunday the 21st of October. All roads lead to the Auditorium, University, Lewisham Hospital, Lewisham High Street, SE 13, 6LH, yeah? So basically, it says that early bird tickets, £7 or £10 at the door. And for further information and tickets, you can go to 079 61 886 032. I'm going to repeat that number again, okay, for those people that's locked in and tuned in and is interested in going to this event for October the 21st, okay, which is a Sunday. And it's all about really coming together, okay, and creating our own atmosphere, okay, and our own way of how we want to socialize, all right? So definitely call this number for definitely going to the African Auntie Jean's Cultural Market, all right? So the usual kind of things that goes on in African culture markets. If you haven't gone there and haven't experienced it, then, take the first time to do that at this event on Sunday the 21st of October. And it's in South East London, Lewisham High Street, Hospital, Auditorium, University, okay? I'm not sure where that is. I know the university is quite big, yeah? I would say the hospital is quite big, all right? So basically, I think that you should phone this number, which is 079 61 886 032 for further information. And that would be very interesting to go to be there, all right, to see. And these 3 brothers, Andrew Muhammad, Tony Warner, and Robin Walker, are very in depth in knowledge around our story, and they got a lot to talk about, and what they talk about is very, very interesting. You won't get bored. I know that for a fact. They got so much information that really you have to listen to them for days, maybe weeks, to get most of the information, all right? You're not going to get all of it in a couple of hours, but you're going to get some really good energy, most definitely, yeah? So please do go there and attend there, all right? So just a text from Riggs, you need to stay on Genesis 24/7. Yeah, and hear that. All right, that was from 595, by the way. I want to big up 595. He's still locked in and tuned in. Bigging up DJ Riggs, because, someone's definitely feeling that those kind of vibrations, the musical vibrations, all right? And that's what we do here on Genesis. We mix it up with, the conversation. We'll have a conversation, just take our time and talk about things in general. We don't have to get too heavy sometimes, but I like to get heavy, I like to get deep into things, all right? It's not everybody's, what you call listening. It's not for everybody. I don't like to look at things and say that everything's negative, you know what I'm saying? I don't just think in the world that we're living in today, there's so many things that I would have said that's negative, okay? I've had to, I would probably wouldn't be interested in if I wasn't here on Genesis Radio, really delving into so many different things, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even think about talking about certain things, but however, because information knowledge is for everyone, then I think it's my duty in that respect, okay, to be able to talk about anything and everything, okay? We don't live in a bubble no more, right? So why don't we just talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about, What's the deal about that, So we need to always continue to find ways to develop the ways that we need to express ourselves. All right. So hold on. All right. So what I'm saying is that obviously, like I was saying, you're welcome to talk about anything. All right. So look, I know tend to talk about a lot of our own issues, that's going on, right? This is coming up to what you call African History Month. I like that. I'm going to stick with that, African History Month, But then every day is our story, And I think more importantly, we have to be able to inform and educate ourselves and make aware of what's going on out there as best as we possibly can, so people have the opportunity to make their own informed decision about those types of things. So it's just I think I would say it's a formality for me. It should be a formality. It should be basic standards, okay, that the majority of us need to be looking at and focusing on ourselves as a group. If you understand our story, if you don't understand our story, then obviously you're lacking in knowledge about yourself and who you are, where you're coming from, and all you want to be, all you need to be understanding around where do you really come from, and maybe you're not interested in that, and maybe that's not important. History, or I think history is important. I love history or our story. I mean, when I used to go to school back in the day, so to speak, we never had any semblance of black history. I can tell you that for a fact. And I went to school up to 1977. You could say I retired from school at the age of 16 and went straight into work. But what I'm saying is that in the time I was in school, from primary school to secondary school, for those younger generations out there, we didn't have not one incy bit of anything to do with black, African, or our culture, our heritage, our roots, nothing about who we were. We was non-existent in the school institutional system across the whole country, right? And maybe there was a big disconnect even just there, why we need to understand what's happening today, why we're even talking about who we are now, but then we're supposed to be born with that, we're supposed to be born with knowing who we are. We shouldn't wait till we go to school or leave school and all of this stuff, all right. So today, they're teaching you things, they're teaching you some semblance of things, and I'd be interested to know from parents out there, from their children's education, what their children are being taught in terms of what you call Black African history, African Caribbean history, or what our history is here in this country. You know, what it's just the way that I think personally, it's the way that our children are taught about ourselves, about our heritage, our ancestry, our heritage, is, I think, the problem, where it's not standardized in a way or formatted in a way where it's going to be consistent, or it has some correlation. Okay, but I think what we're getting is bits and pieces of what we call history, which is modern history more than anything else. Or it's generally talking about slavery. I don't like the word slavery, but it's talking about the enslavement of our people, but they use the word slavery. Yeah, I think slavery is a derogatory term, and it's a disrespectful term to define our ancestors as slaves. And if you know your story, you wouldn't use that word, because our story goes beyond that, beyond, way beyond that. Yeah, tens of thousands of years. All right. So sometimes we get confused in the name kind of tag calling, the kind of labels that they put. The names get confusing in all different manners, because it's the way it's presented. It's just the way it's presented. Okay, it's not in a way that's presented where it's transparent. Yeah, and I think most people, if you only get to a standard of understanding of knowledge and things like that, when it comes to our story, I think generally most people are confused about it, yeah, because of the religious aspects of it, or the Bible interpretations, and how the Bible is being referred to or being used as historical information. And a lot of people, they base their thinking from the Bible, that a lot of some of the information is, as far as some people are looking at history, is relevant to the truth of what we call history. Yeah, so that's the confusing thing for me, why a lot of people are confused about history. They mix it up with biology or theology, and I think moving forward on how that whole situation needs to be resolved, the way I'm looking at it, and I'll be screaming this out from day one, that unless we create our own institutions, African-centered institutions with our own agenda, our own curriculum, our own African-centered teachers, that the checks and balances is going to be there to make sure it's going to happen. The things are going to happen the way that they're supposed to happen, in a way that there's a balance towards how we, you could say, train the minds of our children. Okay, and unless we get to those types of levels, right, most of our children are going to be confused about our story. They're going to get bits and pieces of it, and they may get to a certain level, but they may still be confused about certain things. Okay, because there's the institution is not there to readdress that, to correct that. All right. And I think, how important is that? How really important is that for us to see that, this whole month, month of October, a lot of people will, after so many years of Black History Months, will be indoctrinated into this. So they will see our story from generally a European perspective or a European narrative. Okay, so we got to always find ways to change that. Yeah, and we have the ability to do that, to influence that, and give our children an education that's fit for purpose. Yeah, generally speaking, I just don't see any other solution to correcting the minds of our children and where they need to be in terms of the education of the minds of our children, and unless we try it out, unless it's tried and tested, we don't really know. Yeah, we don't really know, but we know that we know for a fact that when our children are educated from our own people, yeah, and this is generalizing. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to work in all. Like the way it is right now, yeah, there's no, even though there's people doing it, whether it's homeschooling or whether it's private or whether it's supplementary school, I'm going to pick up all the supplementary schools, yeah, and I'll be always talking about them, you know, that the whether it's like whatever you're doing, there's no regulations, okay, where it's kind of governed or not. If it's governed, it's when I say it's regulated, that you know that things are going according to how they should be going. You know, obviously there has to be a process in place to govern these things, okay? Because you want to know that a child is getting the correct forms of education, okay, to a certain standard, yeah. And they'll be able to receive that information and be able to translate that information so that you can see that they're benefiting from the education, that it is working. Yeah, but unless that's tried and tested, we're going to be like always be sort of just really theorizing around these things. We're just going to be postulating around these things, and I think we're more than ready to have our own educational system, right? We're more than ready. There's nothing stopping us, yeah. But why it's not happening, it's a whole load of reasons why we have to have these kind of conversations, yeah. You know, we can talk about the things that we've done in the past, and that's kind of always going to be interesting to me, because I love, like I said, you know. But it's for the others, it's what's going on right now, what's most people's concerned about. Most people are concerned about food in their belly and you know, all this material stuff, yeah. So what I think when I say some of us, or what we need to do as a collective, is continue to push the message across that we need to think about putting our money together, putting our money, put our hands in our pockets to push out and pull out some monies, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes people put their hand in their pocket and they get stuck, you know. So we need to, you know, we can make up all the excuses, but I don't see any reason why we can't do it. Yeah. Other than that, we've been, and I know it might sound like a feeble excuse, but we've been prevented from having schools, right? That we're not allowed to have black schools because people's going to turn it around and use it to say that's racist, right? And that straight away that just shuts that thing completely down, yeah. But then if you question this whole thing and say, well, then you do have white schools that are just white, yeah. it's not up for debate, really, is it? You tend to find out that's not up for debate. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it that possibly we don't have a lot of control in the political system to push the idea of why we're just as entitled to self-determination, to having our own black schools. What could be wrong with that? What harm could that cause? In reality, what damage could that cause? How could anybody be affected by that? I just don't know. Yeah. So I don't see that being an issue, but maybe even some of our own people might see that as an issue. And maybe we should do a survey on that. Go around asking all the parents, all the adults out there, what they think about the idea of having their own black schools, just to see what they would say, how they would respond. You know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear that, you know, because I'd be interested to hear people's views on that, definitely, yeah. And I just really, in reality, I would expect most black people, yeah, African Caribbean people, African people, yeah, to say, yes, we want our own schools, right? How powerful would be that if we said we can get people to motivate them, to move them, yeah, to do that, yeah, because we would set some precedents if we could do that and prove that it works. Yeah, the reason why it's important and why I'm even elaborating on it even more, because I know how important it is. Yeah, because we're talking about some of our children and parents gearing themselves up for this particular time of season, October, the 10th month of the year, that they're going to be getting involved in all of that, yeah? And so maybe they need to be looking at it a little bit more further or deeper than just the 1 month kind of thing. Maybe they need to look at it like, well, you know, really, this should be an everyday thing. I mean, that's the mindset we're supposed to have, really, yeah? Coming from where we're coming from, alright? And being so proud of who we are as a people, to me, the proudest thing for us to do as one of our ultimate ambition is to say that we are educating our own children. And we're proud of that, yeah? And I think as a parent, that's where we need to be. We need to be having that mindset where we're putting our money where our mouth is, even if you haven't got children, if you've got grandchildren, right? But we just want to succeed in our own aims, goals and objectives, our own ambitions, to aspire to want the best for our children. And the reason why this is important, because we at this moment we can't guarantee our children's behavior is going to be any better than what it is today. If you look at our children's behavior and think, how significant of a difference can we make towards that to affect and offset what's going on out there with some of our children who have become delinquents in all kinds of criminal activities, okay? And some of the young people, they're not going to be thinking criminal minded, but you're going to always find that one or two will be thinking criminal minded or thinking about committing some sort of offense, right? And that will influence the the group as a whole. So what I'm saying is, yeah, a lot of the troubles and issues that we're facing with our young people, and I heard somebody today, I think it was, I heard somebody, no, I know it was. I heard somebody say this in an interview, right, talking about, I want to big up Specialty DJ and Mac1, Andrew, the Legsman. I don't, somebody sent me something today, very, very controversial. You can check it out yourself. It's on YouTube, called Hang the Whites music video as French rapper under investigation. Izzy after publicity, and this is coming from RT News. Okay, we were going to be looking at Bill Cosby because anybody wants to talk about Bill Cosby and his situation. It's ironic that we're coming up to our Black History Month here, or African History Month here, and you see what's happened to Bill Cosby, yeah? So, the media, the social media and the mainstream media, all these different things now have become so important in young people's lives, yeah? But you see what's happening to Bill Cosby, for example, yeah, and then the difference between Bill Cosby and this young man letting off, right? Yeah, right. Is he looking publicity? Is this young man really looking publicity? Because this is very, very controversial. What this, I've not listened to the music. I don't know what it's all about. Yeah, but it is very, very controversial, yeah? But I think I kind of, just looking at it, I kind of get the message. I understand the message. So people are starting to really comment about this. Obviously, they're going, what's this all about, yeah? Now, obviously, Bill Cosby is going to be the big talk in America for weeks, probably, yeah? And many, many questions are going to be asked. But I think the main thing that we need to be looking at is what can we learn from this man's experience, okay? I know we're going to, the family's going to, his personal family, his direct family is going to be very, very traumatized, okay, around this situation, yeah? But how traumatized is the, internationally or across the globe, because he's, definitely in Western society, yeah, a lot of us grew up around Bill Cosby and, some of his programs, yeah, and it's kind of interesting, the different kind of conversation just buzzing around at the present moment with Bill Cosby and the different other, the other allegations out there to do with European men. And I think this is what the scales of what people call the balance, okay? Directly, it's right there, staring in the face. It's just right there, isn't it? It's just the obvious, you know what I'm saying? It's just the obvious thing, right? Me personally, yeah, I'm just saying, look, I love my people, yeah. Obviously, I want to say this, yeah. I've said it before. I don't feel no way saying this, yeah, because a lot of people might see that I talk about my own people, yeah, so much, yeah, and then I might talk about certain things like the European governments and European corporations, and I might talk a lot about European things as well, right? And what Europeans are doing and what they're saying and what they're talking about and how they're looking at things, yeah? And people might look at me and say, well, Sayshara, they're going to swing this pendulum around, yeah, and say that you're a racist. But I'm not racist. I don't agree with that idea that, as a group of people, we could ever be racist. It's an institution, right? So what this young man is saying even this is what I was saying, I think last week I was saying that we can say what we want about white people, Asian people, Chinese people, Arab people, and all different groups of people outside of our group, outside of our cultural identity, yeah? But then we can't do anything. I know we're not doing anything, are we, to anybody? We're not hurting anybody. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, all right, yeah, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. But that's not true. We know that words can hurt. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's not like there's a difference between Donald Trump and saying that when he says he's going to do something, if he says he's going to bomb a country up, it's either maybe he's going to do it or maybe not. Yeah, but he's got the ability to do it. Yeah, we haven't got that ability. We could say that we're going to do this and do that all day long, but it's just a bag of talk. We can't do anything. Everybody knows that, right? So it might sound like it's a very kind of like joke, yeah, a satiric joke, yeah. It's not. It's just what we do, yeah. We just talk about things that has no real meaning, yeah. So this brother's talking about things, yeah. We know, even if he may feel like that, yeah. Is he really serious, yeah? No, he's not serious. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not serious. He's not going to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's just an idea. It's no different from these religious ideas. Yeah, that's in these doctrines, these books. It's no different. There's a lot of nonsense in these books. But they're not supposed to mean anything. It's not supposed to be taken literally. But some people do. Right? But I'm telling you this now, right? This whole thing, Hang the Whites music video, as French rapper, under investigation. Is he after publicity? In the world that we're in today, I say he's looking publicity, most definitely. Yeah? He's looking publicity. Yeah? And on social media nowadays, you'd be surprised at what people would do to get attention. There's so many people out there, they're attention seekers. They live, and just be real about this, yeah? A lot of young people are indoctrinated like that. They've been programmed like that, yeah? That they feel the need to have attention on social media. This is a social media thing. They feel the need, it's an addiction, that they need to feel that people are responding to them, reacting to them. I think that's what all that likes things are all about, the likes on there. Yeah, do you like me or do you dislike me? But there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's not good. Yeah, it's just not good. It's not healthy. And I don't know how people's going to react to all of the things that we're affected by individuals. That's it, yeah. It's like there isn't a, I can explain it, that they could say, look, people could say what do they want, right, and say that we're racist all day long, yeah. But as individuals, right, that's what we are. There's no group that's saying that. You know what I'm saying? There's no group out there, organization or country out there that's gonna be directly attacking any other group of people. But individuals, you're gonna get individuals. Yeah, you're gonna get individuals gonna say this and say that, but you're not gonna get like Jamaica saying, "Oh, we're gonna attack some country," yeah, or yeah, you're gonna hear like Nigeria say they're gonna attack some country. Yeah, it's never been heard of. You know, it's never been done. Yeah, so you know, when we use this word, I think that we need to be mindful. Yeah, that it's become trendy to use this, and you've got brothers using it against brothers, sisters using it against sisters. It's really hit the heart of the family that we're starting to look at ourselves and calling each other racist. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, it wasn't like that, but it just goes to show our language. The language changes the direction. Yeah. So you're sounding loud and clear. That's from 019. Thank you, 019. Much appreciated for that. Green Sayshara. It was me that, that sent you that YouTube. Thanks, 753. Most definitely, yeah. I think, it was DJ, EDG special. And I don't know what they're going to do to this poor young man. Just be real, yeah. But like I said, if you want to go to it, you can go to it. Hang the White's music video as French rapper under investigation. Is he after publicity? Alright, so talking about modern technology, yeah, there's one video. I want to play a quick video, right? So about 10 minutes long. If I can get it up and running, it's very important that you hear this information, yeah, because it's relevant to what's happening right now, yeah. So we're going to talk about so much things out here, yeah, so many different things, all right. But I'm interested in the science and technology. I was touching on that for a little while, and there's so much things to learn from it. It's so deep, yeah. There's so much information, yeah, and the world, because of the science and technology that's involved right now, the world is changing very, very rapidly. I don't think people realize how fast things are changing, yeah, and that a lot of the technologies that we have around us, okay, so I think some of us don't recognize how we are affected by it, yeah. So really, there needs to be a certain amount of awareness, I would say, around some of the technologies going on out there, and what we need to do is to be safeguarding ourselves around some of these things, all right? And that it's not just for it's for everybody, yeah, irrespective of race, color, or creed, okay? This is for everybody, yeah? But then, more importantly, it's something that young people need to be aware of, and younger children, okay? Because younger children are growing up with the technology. They're born with it in their hands, literally. They're born with like a smartphone glued to their hands, yeah? And, you know, yeah, they could do amazing things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to tell you no lie, they could do some things that is, for the little age that they're at, it's amazing. It's like powerful, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, yeah, parents giving their children all of this electronic paraphernalia, really, do they know the dangers and the harms? Yeah. Now we need to understand these technologies, the around these smartphones, or what you call also wireless technologies as well. Yeah. And anything to do with radiation, right? Because I know that radio presenters have touched on this. I'm not the only one that's touched on this, all right? Radio presenters have touched on this and looked at this, but then obviously we're always having to update information all the time. All right, what's going on? Because you know, I think they started off with 1G, is it, technology? Then in terms of mobile phones systems. Maybe before that it was just cellulars and stuff like that, yeah? Then they went into digital, 1G, 2G, 3G. Now they're talking about 4G and even 5G. All right, so maybe, who knows, they're going to be talking about 6Gs and 7Gs, who knows, yeah? But everything's moving very, very fast and rapid in the technology. Talking about nanotechnology, everything gets smaller and smaller. I love science and technology, okay? So just really need to listen to this for a few minutes. It's about just under 12 minutes, all right? And then I'll come back to you and hopefully it sounds...
This is Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth. It's the summer of 2017, and by now, chances are every single person watching this video has one of these either in their pocket or in their hands right now. There's also a really good chance that you are completely unaware of the effects that these devices are having on your psyche and on you physically, and that's by design. So in today's video, we're going to lay out the truth about smartphones and wireless warfare. Now, as the title of this video suggests, we're going to be looking at a declassified military document that details the effects and the clinical manifestations of microwaves and radio frequency radioactivity on human beings. But before we do, let's take a look at what our devices say today about what is acceptable and not acceptable exposure. Now, we're going to be doing this on an iPhone 6 Plus, and you can follow along at home. So what you want to do is first go into your settings, and then we're going to go into General. From there, you're going to go into About, and then we're going to scroll all the way down to Legal. Within Legal, you'll find RF exposure, and here is where they have laid out what is apparently acceptable radio frequency exposure. You'll notice that it says here that during testing, iPhone radios are set to their highest transmission levels and placed in positions that stimulate use against the head with no separation. Now, you'll also note that it says at the top of this paragraph, specific absorption rate, or SAR, refers to the rate at which the body absorbs RF frequency. Now, in the following paragraph, following the fact that they just stated that testing is often done with these devices held against the head with no separation, it follows it by stating the following. To reduce exposure to RF energy, use a hands-free option such as the built-in speakerphone, the supplied headphones, or other similar accessories. Carry iPhones at least 5 millimeters away from your body to ensure exposure levels remain at or below the as-tested levels. And it also goes on to say here that cases with metal parts may change the RF performance of the device, including its compliance with RF exposure and guidelines in a manner that have not been tested or certified. So it seems that they are well aware of the effects that this can potentially have physically on human beings, because where do people hold these phones when they're talking? Against their head, or they're either directly right in their pocket, and when they're right here in their pocket, they're essentially right beside your genitals. If you're male, they're right beside your testicles. If you're female, they're cooking your ovaries. And in fact, the men who are responsible for the creation of these devices knew exactly what was going on, hence why men like Steve Jobs would not allow his children to use iPads or iPhones. Bill Gates is also notoriously known to keep his children at a safe distance away from using these devices. So clearly they know something that you don't. And perhaps they were privy to this report that details precisely what these frequencies do to us psychologically and physically. This is the report released by the Naval Medical Research Institute, the bibliography of reported biological phenomenon or effects and clinical manifestations attributed to microwave and radio frequency radiations. This was conducted by the Naval Medical Research Institute and the National Naval Medical Center in October 4th of 1971. A second printing with revisions was released on April 20th, 1972. And it goes on to say here that more than 2,000 references on the biological responses to radio frequency and microwave radiation published up to June of 1971 are included in this bibliography. It goes on to say here, 3 supplementary listings bring the number of citations to more than 2,300. So well over 2,000 studies, experiments, tests, reports were done on the effects of these radio frequencies and microwaves on human beings, and it was all compiled into this one report. And when we scroll down here to find out what sorts of things they were detailing were, the effects on humans psychologically and physically, this is incredibly telling. And I'm just going to scan through this quickly, and I'll include a link in the description so you can check it for yourself. But here we see a heating of the organs, heating up the whole body, your skin, your bone marrow, the genitalia, tubular degeneration of the testicles, heating of the brain and the sinuses. It goes on and on here. Alterations in the biocurrencies of the cerebral cortex, central nervous system effects. We're talking about headaches, insomnia, restlessness, automatic nervous system effects here, ranging from fatigue, structural alterations in the synapses of the vagus nerve. Psychological disorders include something they call neurasthenia, or just generally feeling bad, just a bad feeling in general. Depression, impotence, anxiety, lack of concentration, hypochondria, dizziness, hallucinations, sleeplessness, insomnia, increased irritability, decreased appetite, loss of memory, scalp sensations, increased fatigability, chest pain, tremor of the hands. It just goes on and on. We go into changes in blood and bone marrow, cholesterol and lipids changes. We see here enzyme and other biochemical changes to your proteins, toxins, fungus, virus inactivations, alterations in the rate of cell divisions. We have metabolic disorders, gastrointestinal disorders. This just goes on, and it just gets worse. Genetic and chromosomal changes. Again, I'll leave links in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Miscellaneous effects, changes in optical activity, loss of hair, brittleness of hair, sensations and buzzing, vibrations, pulsations and tickling about the head and the ears. This is just unbelievable what they've discovered way back in the 1970s. Again, I'll include a link in the description so you can check this out for yourself. So what does all this mean, and where is all this heading? Well, the current number of cell phone users in the world today is 4.7 billion, and that number is growing just as quick, if not faster, than people are being born. Well, I'd like to point you to this excellent article that was posted yesterday by Zero Hedge, which is titled, "More Lonely, Fewer Friends, Less Sex, Have Smartphones Destroyed a Generation?" And in it, they point out that there has been a massive change to teenagers and millennials in general with the advent of smartphones. There is compelling evidence that the devices we place in young people's hands are having profound effects on their lives and making them seriously unhappy. You might expect that teens spend so much time in these new spaces because it makes them happy, but most data suggests that it does not. The results could not be clearer. Teens who spend more time than average on screen activities are more likely to be unhappy, and those who spend more time than average on non-screen activities are more likely to be happy. There's not a single exception. All screen activities are linked to less happiness. It goes on to point out that today teens are less likely to date. This leads to a decline in sexual activity. There's driving, a symbol of adolescent freedom, has declined. It's completely lost its appeal for teens today. The number of 8th graders who work for pay has been cut in half. It goes on to point out these charts showing how the constant presence of the internet, particularly social media, is changing the behavior and attitudes of today's teens. They are no longer hanging out with their friends. They're not in any kind of a rush to learn how to drive. There's less dating and therefore less sex or less general interactions with humans in general. They're more likely to feel lonely. They're less likely to get enough sleep. The correlations between depression and smartphone use are strong enough to suggest that more parents should be telling their kids to put down their phones. If you were going to give advice for a happy adolescence based on this survey, it would be straightforward. Put down the phone, turn off the laptop, and do something, anything, that does not involve a screen. And we have barely scratched the surface on this topic, especially when you consider the tech world's ideas for the future of cell phones, how they want to implement holograms and what's now called augmented reality, where you would use the phone, peering through it here in real life, to enhance your experience right here in reality. And what's even scarier is that people born after 1995 don't even know what life is like without these devices. They've been completely surrounded by them their entire lives. And the unfortunate reality is it's become extremely difficult to rid yourself of RF exposure in today's world. My livelihood and income revolves around social media and devices such as these, just like millions and millions of other people out there. But just like it's a good idea to go on a diet, or to maybe go on a bit of a detox if you've been binging on unhealthy food and drink, it's equally important to have an electronic detox, even just for a few days, to remove yourself completely from all electronic devices. Think you can go 2 days without looking at your phone or a computer or a screen of any kind? Give it a try, and I think you'll be surprised at how good you feel. Not to mention, it may dawn on you just how addicted you've become to these smartphones, which are really, in the long run, just dumbing us down. So I'd encourage you to try the 2-day electronic detox challenge and let me know how it went. And of course, this channel is only made possible through your patronage at patreon.com/pressfortruth, where you can contribute a monthly pledge. Or if you prefer, you can contribute directly to PFT at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, my friends, because we've got a lot more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth.
Yeah, Genesis Radio Sayshara back in the house here on www.genesisradio.co.uk. So you heard it there. Alright, so look, I didn't want to put people off their phone business, you know what I'm saying? But the reality is that's what it is, okay? So, I mean, you can go and get this information. It's called Right, it says it says wireless warfare exposed professional. Okay, so let's go to that, yeah? Wireless warfare exposed declassified, alright? So look, military, yeah? So basically what they're saying here, and it's true, that a lot of this technology, okay, is generally to do with warfare, right? A lot of it. That's where it's used mainly by the military industrial complex, okay? A lot of these technologies, these scientific advances in a lot of these different things, right? It's to do with warfare. That's where it starts, okay? It's generally, you'll see that before they put it out on the market, you find that the military's been using it, experimenting with it, doing all kinds of things with it to obviously have the advantage over their opposition, their opponent, the enemy during wartime. And there's no different now. I mean, I know some people think, oh, we're not living in World War I and World War II days, yeah? So a lot of that stuff that was going on then, or what you call the Cold War, that's not happening now. But they're still using a lot of billions of pounds and dollars in these different experiments, okay, for whatever reasons. And you know, whether it's physics or biological or it's chemistry, yeah, there's a lot of money spent into this. The billions of dollars, okay, spent in laboratories with scientists, okay, coming up with the latest invention. All right, and so some of these inventions may be good, and some of them are very, very dangerous. All right, and they know that what the causes or problem issues with these things are. But the reality is, do we know what's going on? Right, so you go to that information, like I said, wireless warfare exposed, okay, or look at information to do with anything to do with mobile phones. So you look at stuff objectively. You can look at information objectively to see, source that information. And as you heard, for those people that's locked in and tuned in here on Genesis, as you heard, there's a long list of things that affects you. It's a long list of things, yeah? So what they're saying is that you shouldn't put your phone anywhere like 3 millimeters. It's got to be at least 3 millimeters away from your body, okay? And obviously, you know, because it's microwave frequencies, as you know, a microwave, you imagine a microwave, what a microwave does, okay? A microwave in your kitchen, okay? You see, that's the effect that we're talking about. It's the same frequency, it's the same radiation frequency that is generating or resonating, yeah, or it's transmitting, right? So basically, we have to be very mindful of all of this wireless stuff, this leaking radiation. I think a lot of us grew up around radiation because TV is really the first form of radiation that would have been in our homes, okay? And I think for those people that grew up around TV's radiation, yeah, I think we're probably immune to it, yeah, and think that nothing's happening, right? But that's fine, maybe from a distance, that's fine from a distance, okay? But then we're looking at something really right up to your skin, right up tight to your skin, and we know there's we don't know how much it is contributing to some of our people in general's illness. We don't know, yeah. But I'm sure there's research out there, as you just heard just now on this here documentary, Wireless Warfare Exposed, that there's a long list of things that it can affect in your biology, in your makeup, right? So as adults, maybe, well, that's not a big thing. Maybe that's what's so important about that, Sayshara. That's cool. That's cool for you as a parent, as an adult, and you might say, well, that's nothing, yeah. It's not really that important, right? But what I would say is that think about your children, think about your grandchildren, your niece and your nephews. Think about them, yeah. And even get them to listen to this video. Yeah, get young people to listen to what's going on. Really study this thing, yeah, because we don't really know what the future is really gonna hold for us, do we? No one can't really predict the future. Really, if microwave phones, we should call them microwave phones, right? Because that might put us off. Or if there should be a warning around the uses of your phones, or maybe there are some things, okay, in terms of moving forward solutions and stuff like that, yeah, I always like to look at that. There are some things that are available called diodes. Like I said, I'm not the only one that's been talking about this. I think the professor on this is one of our great late professors, Dr. Delbert Blair. Alright, Delbert Blair. Delbert Blair, who, like I say, recently, not too long ago, passed away, yeah. He was well into science and technology, and he had a lot of information around that, and he had created a product. I think you could still get it from the Meta Center, if I remember, where he had diodes which would, the purpose of the diode was it would actually draw that radiation energy into the diode. It would somehow draw that energy from the diode. Okay, and you had different types of diodes for different types of all kinds of uses, and kind of amazing stuff really when you're looking at it. Okay, you had a diode for mobile phones, yeah, most definitely. A diodes for laptop computers, and so on and so on. Even at a diode, you had some sort of device where you could put in your car, in your car, and you'd sit on it, something like that, because basically in a lot of cars there's a lot of radiation, believe it or not, there is a lot of energy coming out of your car, you know that, because I know many of people have touched their door handle and got a shock, or touched some part of your car and got a shock, right? It shows you that it's generating energy, so we live in an environment where we actually radiation all over the place. It's just there, isn't it? They got what you call these masks, what they call masks, or what they're called sub-masks, okay? Basically, they're the things that transmit your signal, okay, from say one location to another location, and all of these masks, they give off radiation as well, so there's a lot of things around in our environment that gives off radiation. We don't know how much radiation that we are radiating. It'd be interesting to know, because I think there are things that they got devices to actually measure radiation. Obviously they got that because they've had to design these types of things to obviously check if there's radiation in the earth, soil, or whatever. If there's radiation in things where there's a lot of radiation, it might be leaking, as you know, there's been a few nuclear disasters, not too long really. I think if I remember, people still are suffering from the one in Russia, and people still suffering from the one in I think it's in, I can't remember if it's China or Japan. Maybe somebody could correct me, alright? But somewhere in the southeast, major disaster. I think it would begin with F, and can't pronounce it, alright? But that's what's happening, alright? And all of these things are basically pollution. It's just another form of pollution, and it makes me wonder, why do we even create these kind of things? Why do we create these kind of things, and how difficult is it to get rid of radiated material, okay? So we're making things that maybe are difficult to even get rid of, so it really makes no sense what's going on. But like I said, once again, for those people that's locked in and tuned in here on Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.co.uk, we have to be aware of our environment and the things that we use in our environment, in your homes and stuff like that, and like I said, safeguard all of those things. And there is loads of, like I said, in order for you to protect yourself, like I said, if you go to Delbert Blair, I'm sure you'll see the information out there to do with, if you go to technology or mobile phone or wireless or something like that, just type in some keywords, you'll get the information. There was a particular documentary around that, but maybe another time we'll go over that, Alright, so for those people that's locked in and tuned in, I'm going to say that initially, I know there's people out there that may want to talk about Bill Cosby and what's happened to him, only because I'll be honest with you, I'm not really that interested in Bill Cosby, he's, you know what I'm saying, because to me he's not really one of us. I don't think he's one of us, I think he's one of them, you know what I'm saying. However, that's just my view, alright? I know there's a lot of people out there, when they look at Bill Cosby and the way that he's been projected for some time now, for decades, okay, in terms of success or succeeding in his field of work, which is acting, I would say most of us would say he's the beacon of life, of the light. He's a beacon of the life of the light. Yeah. So basically, you know, he would inspire people. Okay. And people will be looking up to him. Yeah. As a father figure and as a man. Alright? As a black man. You know what I'm saying? But is he a strong black man? Is he a real, does he project himself, or does he represent himself as a strong black man, you know, to his people? Yeah, I know he's done things. Yeah, he's done things for the community, or he's done things for people, right? Yeah, but at the same time, you know, you may look at him as this wonderful father figure, yeah, or grandfather figure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that, like, he represents the model in his show, The Cosbys, as you know, The Cosbys. Okay, we used to watch The Cosbys and we'll have a laugh. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and so you know that whole projection of The Cosbys represented, you know, how people would see us around the globe. Yeah, because that will go around the globe. Yeah, but then I mean, initially when it started off, it was just a black thing. Yeah, just what I said. But then after a while, it gets popular. They popularize it and it starts selling it across the globe. Okay, and then after, you know, that success would resonate into other groups, other cultures, you know, other groups of people. Yeah, and that's you know, most people say, well, wow, that's a good look. Yeah, seeing that's how we look. You know what I'm saying? Average, you can say the average family. Yeah, what they classify as middle class black people. Yeah, but I don't like to use that word middle class for our people, because that language doesn't really fit to me. Yeah, you know, because at the end of the day, what is middle class? Yeah, and a lot of people will try to tell you what middle class is. Yeah, based on their interpretation, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Problem is it real? Is it real? Yeah. That interpretation, is it genuinely real? Yeah. Have we got middle class black people? Yeah, we've got black people that make money in different areas. Okay, it doesn't make them any different than anybody else. Yeah, but at the same time, we do have, and I will be talking in a couple of weeks' time, I'm looking some stuff around to do with, once again, yeah, our leadership in, whether it's political, whether it's in activism, whether it's religious, okay, whatever that leadership is, we're going to be looking at that, right? Because you find whatever that leadership is in whatever area it is, okay, I'm going to say that it's controlled. All right, it's controlled. Okay, so we need to look at that. Yeah, and there's so much things to do with this whole thing to do with Bill Cosby. Is it a big conspiracy? Is it a big conspiracy? Because I think some people is comparing his sexual allegations to this nominee. Is it the Supreme? Was it the Supreme Court Justice nominee? Is it Kavanaugh? I don't know. I'm not really interested in all that stuff, okay? Because I hear it, yeah? And there's an airing going on in the United States, one of President Donald Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court Justice, okay, which is a top job, top job, yeah. It's the it's the highest job in terms of enforcing law, yeah, which is what the Europeans are good at doing, right? So they're squabbling around this whole thing. Another aspect around sexual allegations, yeah. I mean, I'm sure people must be really sick of all these sexual allegations that's going on around the world, around the globe, yeah. I think I spent some time talking about that, and I will be looking at that again, alright, because I think that the adult world that we're living in is totally insane, alright, and it's basically satanic, Luciferian, devil worshipping stuff, okay? Even though the devil thing, this whole thing around the character, this biological character, is just something that's not real. Yeah, it's not real. There's no devil, you know what I'm saying? But then the devil thing is something that's within us. It's the whatever the language is, it's in us, okay? So if people want to say that there's a devil with a red tail and all of this stuff and red horns and whatever, yeah, they can create these imaginable characters, these types of creatures, okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, man's kind of like got an imagination, you know what I'm saying, but sometimes the imagination just goes way over there, wandering over there, okay, and it's fine. So to me, there ain't no real devil or Satan or Lucifer and all of this, yeah, it's just a language, yeah, people use to interpretate, to define some sort of thing out there that they describe, they give attributes or characteristics to say, well, that's what that creature represents. Anybody can do that. A child can do that. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is that it becomes a cult. Yeah? People create these things, it becomes a cult, and then within that cult, there's a certain type of behavior that goes with it. Yeah? And the type of behavior that we're seeing right now, okay, it's not surprising, because there is an agenda, and some people say, well, it's a hidden agenda. I don't think it's that hidden no more. I think it's just like, it's kind of grown. Yeah, it's growing. Yeah, like a lot, well, I say a lot, but people are influenced by it, that it's growing, and it's got to the point where it's out of control. So basically, because it's out of control, it's just out there and it's everywhere, yeah, so it's not so much hidden, okay, but then what I'm saying is all these different sexual allegations, right, that's really being, you could say, it's like everywhere, yeah, it's like litter, it's littered everywhere now, yeah, shows you the type of behavior of men. I'm talking about men right now, yeah? But at the same time, there are women that have got to that level of what you call sexual, satanic behaviors, okay? There's women that's on that level as well, okay? But I would think, and I know that it's the men that's actually encouraging the women, right? So the problem is with this is the men. It's the sexual violent behavior in men, yeah, that seems to be influencing this whole world right now. And there is an agenda to push certain types of messages. There's no doubt about that, yeah. And we could talk about the different conspiracy theories out there, yeah? Because I love a conspiracy, yeah? I love a conspiracy. And there's, it's interesting when you look at some of these conspiracies, okay? And you see a pattern. There's a pattern, a definite pattern, okay? To deceive people, all right? So you know, what I'm saying is that if you look, people's making these comparisons, they will do, watch this, okay? They're going to say, well, what's happened? All right, fair enough. Bill Cosby done certain things. He may have done certain things, yeah? He may be guilty, right? And, you know the system is setting this whole thing up, and they're planning all these things strategically, yeah? Yeah? Everything is done, what you could say, meticulously, yeah? So they're looking at, for some reason, they got a beef with Bill Cosby, yeah? Because, remember this is a top entertainer, right? A top man in that world there, out there, yeah? He's out there with those people, yeah? The Hollywood people, he's out there with them. He's a top person right there, yeah? So, alright, how is it? I know people saying that, well, no, Sayshara, there have been some Europeans that have been banged up for sexual allegations or sexual abuse or some sort of sexual offense, okay? Because there's so many of them, I can't reel them off, right? But what I'm saying is that, yeah, so they're saying, well, Kavanaugh is this person's that, and, you know, why is it that, you know, they wait till you get to his age, innit? Get to his certain age before they drop this on him. They could have done it a long time ago, right? I mean, most of these allegations or these, you know, what you call assaults, yeah, on these women were a long time ago, a long time ago, yeah? So I'm saying they dig up all this stuff and drop it on him right there, and you know what I mean, right now, at this time, yeah? Why didn't they wait? Why wait till now? What has he done? What has he done? Has he done something to somebody? Is it something that he's not doing? Is he part of their club? Is he part of some society? Is he part of some fraternity? Is he part of the Masons? Is he one of them? Right? Because, you know, once you're with those people, you're protected. Yeah, when you get to a certain level, yeah, in you know, I say certain level, that's the Hollywood level I'm talking about, the Hollywood or Hollywood level. I'm not talking about life, yeah? Because to me, what goes on there, man, gee, I don't know how people could call that life, yeah? But anyway, once you get in that area, yeah, and doors start opening and everything and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Opportunities start coming your way and stuff like that, yeah? You find, yeah, and by the way, just to let you know, you can call me on 074 043 67618. I'll repeat, 0740 43 67618. And there is a text number. I'll give you the text number in a minute, yeah? But it's the old text number anyway. It's the old number, all right? So what I'm saying is, yeah, that based on what can we learn from this, okay? Because at the end of the day, you got a lot of people who've what they will define as they've made it. They've made it in life. They've succeeded. They're successful. Yeah, they've got everything that they want. They've, you know, they've got more than what they could ever want. In some cases, they've made it, right? Bill Cosby is a made man in Western society, in Western European society. He's a made man. He's made. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? But he's in his age now, and they're banging him up into these prisons. In America, it's not good. It's not a good look. But even though his money might help him, do you know what I'm saying? But I feel that he's going to die in prison. Yeah? So what I personally think that maybe he did do something, and maybe he's guilty or something, yeah? But I don't think that he deserves to go to jail. That's just my view, Sayshara's view. Yeah, I'm not trying to defend him, but I just think that maybe he don't deserve to go to jail for what, 3 to 10 years, I think they said. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe he should go to jail. Maybe he should do a few months or a year or something, a taster. I don't know. Yeah. But I just think that considering the length of time, I think if you look at the whole thing, look at the whole case and everything, yeah. And like I said, maybe he's guilty, right? And the reason why I don't think it's not something that I wouldn't say that black people don't do these things, right? But I would say, yeah, you know, spiking the drink and all of this stuff, right? So you can just rape some woman, right? But then he must have got, I mean, if he did do it, where did he get it from? Because he must have got it from somewhere. Yeah, somebody must have taught him that, right? And yeah, if you want to send a text, is 079 31 276232. Keep me locked in, keep me tuned in. Let me know I'm sounding, all right? As per usual, you're welcome to call in, text in, or whatever, all right? Otherwise, I'm going to keep on going. Now, as I was saying, like, this is a lesson for all these people that classify themselves as black Africans, Caribbean people, Afrikan Heritage people, yeah? Defining what success is, all right? You know, what is success, okay? Because I think personally there's something sinister definitely going on there, all right? Because now what they've done is, it looks like, to me, they wouldn't even bother with him. If he didn't do anything, they wouldn't even bother with Bill Cosby. They said, well, they just let that ride. You get what I'm saying? Because there's enough times, enough people, yeah, enough Europeans get away with a lot of things. Yeah, enough times, yeah, they get away with a lot of things, yeah. But he must have done something. I know he's. People's talking about. There's 3 things that he's done. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, but I think there's more to it than just that. Yeah, the whole thing around NBC. You know, he was going to buy NBC. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, which is a broadcasting company. For over $300 million, right? But they blocked it. They whiteballed him, right? So, I don't know if that was the start of his so-called downfall, yeah? You see, maybe he's playing their game, right? He's playing their game, which is the white man's game, yeah? And you see what happens, isn't it? That's the evidence there. That's the testimony there. This is me saying that, Sayshara. I don't have to say anything. It's just there, isn't it? That's the biggest projection on TV for decades. And now they've lowered him down to a lower level, yeah, in his age, right? Showing you what they can do to your most successful elder right now. This is what they will do to your successful elder, the black man's image, alright? They've basically demeanor, and they've demoralized that image now, yeah? And they're making you know who's in control, who's in charge here, right? As well, yeah? So there's a lot of things going on there. So we know about the NBC broadcasting company who's going to buy, yeah? We know also that, yes, he did do his best to ridicule Donald Trump before Donald Trump was even nominated to be president. He literally mocked him live on TV, right, in public. And I'll tell you this much, I don't really know Donald Trump that good, yeah? I don't know him that good. But I know him enough to know that I hear him in hip-hop records how many years ago. He's quite familiar in the hip-hop business with the hip-hop artists. I'm talking about the old school ones, right? So I know him from then. I didn't know him politically, or I didn't know his financial business. We know about Trump Tower and all of that stuff, yeah? But what I'm saying is, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is not a person that, he gets emotional if you try and say anything about him, and he won't have it. He will get emotional. He will get on your case. That's the way I see things, yeah? So I don't know how much, yeah, there's a beef between him and the now President Donald Trump, yeah? But maybe it's nothing. Maybe Donald Trump said, you know what, that's small talk. I'll laugh it off. Yeah, he can have a laugh at me. I'll prove him wrong, which he did, because he is now president. But the thing is what was remarkable is what Bill Cosby said. He said something like, he was so sure of himself, yeah? He was so sure of himself, yeah? Hold on, let me see if I can get this call. Let me see. Genesis Radio, Sayshara speaking? No. Yeah, he's there? Genesis Radio, Sayshara speaking. Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on. Genesis Radio, Sayshara speaking. You still there? Right. Hold on. Right, you're still there. Hold on, still there. Don't move. Right. Alright, stay there. You still there?
Hello, Jumbo.
Yeah, got you. Alright. So. Yeah, but you're low. Hold on, let me turn you on. Go on.
Hello.
Yeah, I got you. Alright, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. It just proves that black people have got no power in the hour.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's what it proves. We got in the Western society.
Yeah.
We, no matter how high up we are in the entertainment business, I'm referring to. Michael took down, they slandered. If Michael Jackson would have done what they said he'd done, he would have been locked up and put in jail. He's never done what they said. That's rubbish.
So
in America, you don't get away with that sort of thing. If he'd done what he'd done, they'd have locked up. It's money they wanted out of Michael, and there's rumour amongst Hollywood black people that they've done it because they were jealous of his Beatles archive that he owned. There's some he outbidded Paul McCartney £30 million at an auction, and Mark could put 33 or something, and Paul McCartney couldn't get together the money to outbid him to buy the rights to his own group's music, his own Beatles music, Paul McCartney, and Mark outbid it and owned tons of all the best Beatles music, which gets millions of pounds a year from royalties being played on radio stations throughout the world.
Yeah. But but they sold that now, innit?
Say again?
They sold that. The
Who
family.
sold it? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they sold the Beatles rights.
Wicked if they did, man. Anyway, that's one. She said. They got it in the end, and did they have to get it sold?
Yeah, I think if I remember, it was like $500 million. I think 500 million or something like that. Some big money. Yeah. But they're not going to sell it cheap. But like I said, we need to look into that a little bit more. Yeah. But yeah.
They sold Mark Tyson, OJ. There's rumours going around that Stevie Wonder assaulted his niece or something.
No.
That was suppressed.
Really?
But I'm saying that yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm saying that there's rumour that put a lie, man, because Steve Wonder done something. Steve Wonder done something political or something right about that time, and they said they didn't like it.
Yeah.
He's done something political, and the American public didn't like it. He made some political speech with sort of anti-American foreign policy.
Who did?
Stevie Wonder.
Is it? I didn't think it was that
Yeah,
political.
at the time they come up with that accusation that he followed with his niece or something.
So is that a recent? This is a recent allegation you're talking about, yeah?
A few years back.
Oh, right, okay. So they must have squashed that then, yeah?
He fully lied, man. Fully lied.
They're lying because how can a blind man supposedly be? I never heard of a black man raping anybody. You know what I mean? What are you talking about?
It just proves what they would do if you say something against the system.
Yeah. So you think that?
It proves that finally, I just lie. Excuse me, I don't believe that at all.
So
Steve Wonder never had no trouble getting any woman he wants.
No, I'm surprised that you said that. I'm surprised. I've never heard that one before, but it's interesting. So they accused Stevie Wonder, a blind man, of raping his niece.
Oh, sexually abusing his niece.
Sexually abusing his niece. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And not only that, Woody Allen. Excuse me,
Woody Allen.
For 1 second.
No, we know about Woody Allen.
Yeah, Woody Allen. He was supposed to have had sex with his stepdaughter.
Yeah.
His daughter or his stepdaughter.
Yeah.
And
he left his.
About that.
He left his wife for her.
About that.
Didn't he? They separated because of it.
Yeah, and then he married her. He literally had a relationship with that daughter, half daughter or something.
Yeah.
His stepdaughter lives with her after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, they say he's incest. Anyway, nothing happened about that. But what I don't understand, me personally, is how comes the Pope, the Pope, the most holiest man in the Christian world, has admitted that thousands of priests have been responsible for sexually abusing hundreds of thousands of children, murdering them in some cases like in Ireland. Yes? Catholic priests.
Yeah, man. That's real talk. That's real talk.
Yeah, none of them priests have been rounded up by the FBI. The worst place it happened has been in America. The victims have come forward. There's talk of compensating the victims. You don't need nothing whether compensating or not.
Yeah.
The talk of compensating because the Catholic Church has to be a multi-billion-pound corporation and have investments in Amazon or shares in Amazon or his business. Anyway, and tons of billions of pounds of land and property throughout the world. Hundreds of billions of pounds of land and property throughout the world. Anyway, nothing was done about that. None of them priests were rounded up in America. Maybe one or two, but thousands of them done it, and only one or two of them were brought to justice.
Yeah.
And thousands of people come forward and testify with their solicitors and made done interviews that they were abused by the priests. Nothing was done about that.
No.
So and that was in America.
Yeah.
Then all them priests got scot-free. So why are they doing this to Bill Cosby? I personally think he's innocent. They're talking America on an American radio station, a black one and a white one, in America on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah.
One of them shows on there. That the women that are doing it for money. A lot of them got money in the behind the scenes. A lot of these women were asking for money off of Bill Cosby, millions of dollars. And some of them got it. Like $3 million, $4 million, whatever. And they were saying that some of these women don't for a pension, so they get a pension in the future.
Yeah, but
and again,
who's supporting them then?
Pardon?
Who's supporting them women? Because what I'm saying is, remember these allegations that they're talking about, right? That just popped out just recently, yeah? They're talking about 30, 40 years ago, right?
I'm saying.
So where did they gather up all of these women all of a sudden, it must have been organised, bruv, because...
Organised, yes. Someone must have done, someone detailed like the FBI, like who Trump has got control of, CIA has got control of, that can really go right back at a person's past and link up what college they went to, the sociology, where they lived, where they worked, what company they worked for, who was their girlfriend. So like CIA, FBI, sort of data keepers or researchers or evidence finders must be something to do with it. So it could have been what you said, something to do with him insulting Trump. Why got such a comeuppance? But again, the feminists are very organised, and they set a lot of traps to men, and they're out to crush any type of like alpha male activity. Yeah, feminists like to, as you can see, the whole world, all men that are a threat to feminism, which is an alpha male, unless he is a threat, the feminists do, they seem to have, the alpha male isn't part of this feminization, global feminization of men. They're the most resistant ones, the ones that have loved loads of women, the ones that are powerful, the ones that have 100% heterosexual, the ones that don't talk like a woman, think like a woman, dress like a woman, and don't bow to female power. Now, a lot of feminists, the extreme ones, the powerful ones, will see organisations will covert, they've gone underground, which is quite dangerous. And ever since the feminists have gone underground, you get all these comeuppances of all these alpha male men, and powerful, masculine, heterosexual men of all colours being brought down by being their character has been defamated by women who claim they committed sexual misconduct towards them. Some involving rape, some involving Weinstein, Clinton, they done it to Trump.
Because Donald Trump's got some allegations against him as well, hasn't he?
Loads.
Right.
Loads. The line about Donald Trump is some top porn star woman.
Yeah.
Some top porn star said he had sex with her. He supposed to have sex with her.
Yeah, and
relationship with her.
And just to elaborate a little bit.
They're saying his wife's going to, Trump's wife's going to leave, but she's never over it. Because she'll come forward and testify about it. And again, you see, my personal opinion about this, I think it's a feminist conspiracy to bring down alpha male men to proceed with this feminist agenda to feminize men all throughout the globe. So men will be more like women, so women will become more equal with men.
So hold on, let me slow you down.
Gender equality,
Right. So let me break it down a little bit what you're saying. So you're saying that there's a shift towards women empowerment, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
And basically those women, so you're talking about different individual women, or you're talking about a group of powerful women?
No, what about the organisation of global feminism, the movement of feminism, feminists?
Yeah, but is there such a? Is there such a?
Of course, man. Yeah, there is. Of course, there are millions of feminists around the world. The most feminists in the world is in America.
Yeah, but all right. Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is,
and the most in Europe is in Ireland and Sweden, I think.
Right, but what I'm saying is, what is their ideology pertaining to? Is it pertaining towards
empowerment of women
for what?
To get power.
For what? For what kind of power?
Political power.
Right.
Sexuality power.
Right.
To not be seen as like meat for men.
Yeah.
To not be used sexually by men. Not be exploited by men. To not be.
But then, do they want to take over the world?
By men for sex.
Yeah, but is it
exploitation?
Yeah, but is it to take over the man's position? Is it the
Yes.
to take over the man's
weaken
position?
the alpha male position, to weaken it,
Right.
So they get power, so they get equality. So if it's just like saying, if you're a right wing person, yes, and you want power, what you're going to do is go around your environment and turn as many people right wing as possible. Like Hitler did, isn't it?
No, you see your theory, right?
Yeah.
It's not too far-fetched, right? Because I've seen films like that. I've seen films, yeah, where women are, but it's normally on an island somewhere and something like that, yeah? They control all the men and they're dominating, yeah? So it's not too far-fetched, yeah?
But ever since the feminist movement revived itself since the suffragette days,
yeah,
back in the 60s, or it was, back in the 50s or 20s, when it was, the suffragettes first started this feminism in this country.
Yeah.
It's had a revival, a covert revival.
Yeah.
And then it came a bit above board in the 80s. When women started to cut their hair, wear short
So
hair,
you don't think
a lot of women wear trousers.
Yeah.
And the fashion that women wear is like
yeah, but hear this, yeah, hear
back
this.
and sides.
Yeah, I hear that, yeah, and I think we get that, yeah. This the 70s kind of thing, yeah, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, so it's like a feminist revolution.
Yeah, but that conversation is about to me, it goes back to the flower power days.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. No. The suffragette days when the women threw themselves on the horses in this country.
Yeah.
The protesting women to get power and killed herself.
Yeah, right. But no, but what you're talking
And
about.
they're feminists. They're feminists that done that. It's wear the hats like the Queen wears.
Yeah, but what you
don't forget, the Queen's a feminist.
Is he?
which we don't know. We don't. She hasn't said she's or she isn't. But if she is.
I don't know.
Yeah, they say the Queen's the richest woman in the world.
Yeah, but she's not a feminist.
So
is
to
she?
say she's a covert feminist and she's not feeling these powerful women to be like her.
Right, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So they get a lot, these feminists get a lot of help from somewhere. They've got a source where they get help. But, you can see from the days of this new feminist revival, that feminism revival, that men have been feminized.
Yeah, no, you're interested.
All the homosexual men are feminine.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying is interesting. I've never really heard anybody say that. Yeah.
And there was talk, which I come across back in the 80s, of the water system throughout the West being pumped up with female hormones as a feminist conspiracy to turn men feminine without them realising it.
Yeah, I think they called that.
So back in the 80s, that theory came about before anything that was even about.
Yeah, I think you're right there to do with epigenetics. Is it epigenetics? You know about epigenetics?
So it's more to do with gender bending, and then you get them people like that. Then the pioneers of this feminism were people like Boy George, when they so-called a gender bender back in the day.
Well, now they're called.
Come chameleon.
Right.
You come and go. Remember that song he done?
Yeah.
Boy George?
Yeah.
He was known as a gender bender. And that new wave music that he came out of in this country, they were known, that group of artists that came at the same time he did, they were known as men they didn't reveal their homosexuality at the time, but they were known as men who were bending the male gender to be feminine.
Right. So you're saying
towards womanness.
Well, this is a real big.
And then since if that theory was right about, you know, the food supply and the water supply,
yeah,
being pumped up with female hormones to turn men feminine, it could be true. Because a lot of women are drinking this tap water, and they're coming out with children that are born, and when they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years of age, the boy children are dressing like girls and saying they're women nowadays. More than ever in the whole history of this country.
So you're saying it's in the water then, yeah?
According to David Icke and other conspiracy theories, they do say that the chlorine in the water is a female, like a female hormone.
Yeah.
A hormone that would turn a person feminine if they consume it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The chemicals that are in the water.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
to purify it.
Yeah, the science to do that, definitely. Yeah.
You can even check on the internet. You can check on the internet.
There's
chlorine. One of the chemicals that they put in our water nowadays.
Yeah.
Is a chemical that turns masculinity feminine.
Yeah.
Ever since that theory come about, there's been more feminine men in the Western world that play the role of a woman, that sex change from male to female,
yeah,
that have relationships and act like a male, that talk like a female, have got a relationship that act like a female, like for some homosexual relationship with a man is one of them that plays the role of a man, one of them plays the role of a woman, and there's been more men with feminine characteristics in the Western world than there's ever been since ancient Greece and ancient Rome. In the Western world nowadays, as we speak.
So you're saying it's escalated then, yeah?
All you have to do is research it. You find out. Like look at the statistics, and the women have got more masculine.
Right. Yeah, because you're right about the estrogen. They can inject that in you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So
it's not far-fetched.
Well,
what you're saying about in the water.
Pardon?
It's not that far-fetched, what you're saying about what's in the water.
Yeah, like tap water, yeah. But if you look across the world, you see that men have got more feminine over the last, say, 80, 90, 100, last 4 decades.
Yeah.
Men have got more feminine and women have got more masculine. Now, that could be another reason why all these single mothers have taken over more than they've ever done in the whole history of civilization. Amongst the black men, black families, and Caucasian families, where a woman can think like a man, act like a man, live like a man, and play the role of a man where she's the head of the household and don't be the man.
So you're saying to me then, you're saying to me that there's this group out there of women, feminist women, right, that are about empowering themselves on the world stage, yeah, and that they got their own ideologies around how they're going to go about doing it. So one of the things that you're saying that they're practicing is to defeminize the men, yeah, right,
yeah,
which is ongoing, yeah, and then there's other methods that you're saying that they're doing as well, like you could say they're contaminating the water, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Injecting hormones and these, where they're using the system now, like even with the NHS, they're allowing people to change gender, right?
That's correct. Yes.
So they're encouraging it.
And they teach you that something to help sick people, and they see the necessity to change gender as an illness or such a severe situation that the NHS it's an important problem for a person that wants to do that. The NHS is willing now to spend tens of thousands of pounds on doing it for a man for free.
Yeah, but it kind of looks like the government policies and what the NHS...
Is it on it?
Yeah, because to me it contradicts what they're saying, because really what they're saying that the NHS is like losing a lot of money, or a lot of money's got to go into the NHS and all this stuff, and they're saying that people's taking advantage of the NHS, like immigrants, and they're talking about trying to save money as well, right? But yeah,
what you say about the gender changing business that's happening in America and Canada on a vast scale, and Australia on a vast scale.
Yeah.
Vast scale.
Yeah, but this country's following in sequence, right behind them.
Yes.
Right, but you know that America. I'll tell you something about the United States of America from my view. Yeah, America is just one big laboratory, right?
Yeah.
And basically, they use the people, the land, and the resources to do whatever experiments to further their aims and interests. Okay, in warfare, right? And also exploiting. They use America for exploitation, and also for defense mechanisms. Okay.
I heard on Talk Sport yesterday. I did on Mike Graham show. I didn't catch it. I wanted to listen to the show. I fell asleep quite early. I woke up again later. But Mike Graham said that I want to talk about an island full of women.
Right, that's what I was just mentioned, isn't it? About the films.
A woman owned the island.
There's a woman that...
There's an island in the world somewhere. There's only women on it. So I don't get to catch it though.
Yeah, but you see what you're talking about is it's going back to ancient Greek behaviours.
As me, Dr. X said about 10 years ago, I phoned up and I said, "What's happening, Dr. X? Is that the whole of the Western world democracy comes from Greece, ancient Greece."
Yes.
Yes? The word democratique. The philosophers like Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, all of that posse, they designed the concept of a democratic society, the concept of democracy, the concept of Western society.
Yeah.
They designed the parliament, the way a parliament should be structured, the way the law should be structured, the rules and regulations for democracy, the roles for men and women, and the roles for production, etc., etc.
Yeah.
The political system, financial system, and functioning system, and attributes that consist in the word democracy, and any democracy throughout the world originates from Greece. And I said, don't forget in them days in Greece, I said, what it seems to me, and the same in Rome too. And I said to him, it's what it seems like. What we're experiencing in the Western world now is a re-rise of the Roman and Greek empires. Yes?
Yeah.
And don't forget in them days, in ancient Greece, all the rulers, the aristocracy, and the laymen, but most of the aristocracy, not known to the aristocracy, men, had young teenage boys as partners, as well as what important. We weren't seen as the main sexual attraction to the men.
Yeah.
The young boys were in the sauna bars, and young boys were prioritised over women amongst the millions of Greek men. And the women, some of the women also had lesbian relationships. Now, women were only seen as used for breeding.
Yeah.
They weren't used as sex toys. All the sex toys were adult men with young boys.
So they call that...
So I said, Dr. X, it is the rewrite of that old democratic system. I said, what's happened now has happened before.
Yeah, so
and don't forget, look at the state of Greece now, Sayshara. Look at the state of it.
Greece?
It's smashed to pieces.
Yeah, well, Greece... I think, Greece is one of those countries under austerity.
Greece is smashed. Greece ain't got no money. Greece ain't got no money. Greece is all the Greek people are poor. the government turned to the far right, like some neo-Nazi. Percentage-wise, I think they've got the most neo-Nazis in their country now. They go around smashing up ethnic people still. But the old system of democracy in Greece at the moment is crashed. They're billions of pounds of a debt with the European Union. They've got no money at all, Greece at the moment.
No, but
Greece is smashed. The unemployment islands.
So what you're talking about is the rehashing of what you call Hellenic culture.
Ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Ancient Greece.
Yeah.
But obviously it is because all the Western world democratic countries around the world are based on the ancient BC Greek system of democracy. The Greeks created the concept of democracy that we use in the Western world now.
Right, yeah. That's
all our ethics, morals, laws are based on ancient Greek democracy. The Greek philosophers that created democracy. What Pythagoras got. Pythagoras theory, pi squared equals 3.142. All that posse. They were the ones that created the whole system of mathematics.
No.
The aspects of love.
Yeah, but
sculpture,
no,
love.
G.
Our concept of love. Whether they created it or not, obviously there's rules.
No, this is This correct that. Because this is supposed to be the so-called History Month, right? So this correct that. Yeah.
Obviously, we know they've got it from Celtic, but I was saying what the concept of democracy that the Western's using now was organised and developed and first created in ancient Greece.
Yeah, but they got
the type of democracy we've got now.
Yeah,
the one that we use in the West, what we use in the West was clever actually, but obviously there's rumours. There's the fact that the Greeks were taught by ancient Africans.
That's right. Now you've corrected it. I'm glad. Right?
Yeah.
So let's put things into proper context, yeah? Because a lot of people, sometimes we conflate things wrongly, yeah?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's difficult. That's what I'm saying. We don't have no institutions to correct that. But anyway, my thing is all these philosophers and all these Greek mathematicians or philosophers and scientists and all that, as far as I'm concerned, they don't exist, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, because
even the concept of heaven and hell that they use in the Western religions was influenced by the one they used in ancient Greece.
Yeah. So when we're talking about influences, okay, we're talking about cultural differences and cultural differences of those different types of influences, because obviously when you come into contact with different groups of people, different cultures, okay, yeah, you have different identifications and different identity of sensibilities and characteristics and all manners of things, a long list of things, yeah? So what I'm saying is that if you look at ancient Egypt or where they went to first, originally, if you look at the whole history, they stole a lot of that information, right? But at the same time...
In their enlightenment, in their Renaissance.
Right, they took what they could.
They said the Renaissance in Europe, all Renaissance business is enlightenment.
Yeah.
Enlightenment, new information.
Yeah. But then they didn't follow... But they didn't follow the divine balance and order that was there. They didn't follow that, right? So what I'm saying is people need to be clear that what the Greeks and the Romans did, what they call Greek civilization and Roman civilization, before there was no civilization, that's why when they went there, they become civilized, But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that
kept it because there was a lot of the world was not one.
No, of course not.
The European world, the Caucasian world never knew one another.
No, because they just
travel. Then they could mean to travel to one another.
No, because they just come out of isolation.
Isolation. Yeah.
Right.
When the Greeks introduced the information they got from Africa to the rest of it, that was called Enlightenment.
Yeah.
The Renaissance. Another word of Renaissance.
Well, the Renaissance was in the 15th century of arts and crafts, and then in the 16th century of literature. That was a Renaissance.
No, the Renaissance that Europe received, the Western Caucasian world received, was from Greece.
Yeah.
Greece, England received.
No, that was civilization. That's civilization.
Enlightenment. It's the Enlightenment. It's a Renaissance.
Well,
of the 14th century. Of the 14th century.
I'll be honest with you, right? I'll tell you why.
Look at the history you're seeing.
I'll tell you why I don't agree with that. I'll tell you why I don't agree with that. Because if those Greeks, right, and those Romans, they had all the knowledge, okay, and they knew things, yeah.
Just say Greek.
Alright, let's say if the Greeks said they knew things, okay, why did it take the rest of Europe to Christopher Columbus in the 15th century to be able to sail the ocean? Do you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, they didn't have no knowledge. They never had no knowledge.
They were sponsored by the European. It was before Christopher Columbus, the Renaissance. They were sponsored by the kings and queens of Europe to go to the New World, Africa, to bring back, to slaughter the people, to take back, rob their gold.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that.
That's how Columbus were sponsored on paid expeditions to go to places to bring back gold.
Yeah, no, we know. Some of us know all that, but
I think they learned that from the Renaissance. The Greeks had done.
No. What I'm saying is,
the Greek nation must have information saying yes. We have been to Africas and we see what they've got over there. You go and get your share.
No, the Greeks. You got to think of this now, yeah. Think about this, yeah. You mentioned the layman, right? You mentioned the layman, yeah. Let's use that word for a minute, because I'm trying to explain something to you, yeah. Because there's a difference between Greek civilization, yeah, and the European Renaissance, yeah, period, yeah. The Renaissance period is not just about enlightenment, okay. It's about knowledge. It's the.
It's more about the art, mathematics, politics. Poetry, music,
yeah.
All kinds of things, man.
Yeah, but
law systems, political systems, aesthetic of beauty, knowledge of the concept of good and bad, the concept of religion, all sorts of things.
No, the only thing that they come out.
That's where the Christianity comes from.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The only thing that came out of it was the religion. Right, and that's where you got Christendom. That's how they built up Christendom. So what I'm saying is that when the Greeks went in, they went there, and they saw a lot of things, and they saw a lot of things, but they went and paid. Remember, they worship. They kind of worship our ancestors. Them time they emulated them.
The Greeks are Polytheis.
Right.
What's it, Mount? One thing, Mount.
No, but what I'm saying is.
I've studied it, man. I've studied all the Greek.
Right, so what I'm saying is that the Greeks went there and they emulated our culture. That's why they stayed there for 300 years. Remember, they stayed in Egypt and ruled Northeast Africa and then those parts for 300 years. They didn't go back to Greece. This is the elite. So what I'm saying is the layman people, right, they didn't get no knowledge, right? So what I'm saying is, the knowledge that you're talking about, during the Greeks and the Roman times, that was only for the elites. The majority of people were illiterate.
Yeah, the poor people,
Right. So what I'm saying is, so they did.
If it enlightened the whole, according to European history books, they say that the whole of Europe was enlightened in the 14th century by the Greek Renaissance.
Yes.
Information coming to modernize and influence and completely uproot and change 360 degrees European culture by the Greek Renaissance.
Yeah.
That's in the history books.
Yeah, no, that's proper context. You put it in proper context. You said the 14th century, that's cool for me, yeah? Because that's what we're talking about, yeah? But obviously, they didn't talk about ancient Egypt, all right? But
no, they didn't.
The
Greeks mentioned in their own culture that had hints about it.
Yeah. So, but we know.
Hints about When people ask, who taught you Plato? Plato, where's your information? Where's Aristotle get his information? Where did Socrates get his information from? Where Aristotle get his information
Yeah,
from?
but you see all those characters. No, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell anybody I don't accept these characters existed. They're just names that they use to give the Europeans this idea, right? That before Alexander the Greek, 332 BCE, they're saying that they was already in Africa, right? This is what they're saying, yeah? And it was already there, right? One person went over there, or one, and learned all this stuff over there, yeah? But there's no evidence for that. There's no evidence for that, bruv, yeah? But what they're doing is they're trying to give the Europeans, they're trying to say that the Europeans were civilized beyond Alexander the Greek, 332 BC. They're saying they're going back 500 BC, yeah, and beyond.
No, it's rubbish. They wasn't.
No, but that's what they're saying.
They weren't
Because
civilized then.
when did, look,
They
you
wasn't
had,
civilized then.
right, that's right. What I'm saying is they use Socrates. First of all, they come with Socrates. They've only got one reference.
To the Stone Age then, man.
Right, so what?
They're
That's
in
what I'm
the Stone
saying.
Age.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it is. I'll explain something very quickly. When I was at school in primary school, I remember the history of the Europeans wasn't.
You went in primary school.
Yeah, but put it in primary school. When I done history in the primary school, the history of ancient Europeans was not Shakespeare and great artists and great philosophers and great building designers like we've got in Egypt, like let's say we've got in Egypt, Africa, and like in Nigeria, the first ironmongers. Yeah. Now, all we learnt was about men that looked like white men that looked like apes, learning how to make spears from stone. For spearheads from stones.
What they found that.
And at one time, and they didn't used to cook their food at one time. And they learned to make a fire. And then we done like projects where we get a bit of wood and try and rub it, twist it round with some hail, and try to make a fire out of what the ancient Europeans used to do. There's no history of their beginning of being civilized. Any other savages.
Yeah.
There's no building. They live in caves. Yes.
But
caves.
they don't talk about that history. They don't talk about that.
And I think the Flint man, some of the Flint man, how they come across flint to make the fire.
Yeah.
And they smash the big stone rocks into shape to make a spearhead and tie it to a piece of wood. And they didn't have no clothes on. So but it's all that seems to be hidden away now. And that's just like some falsification of their history now.
Yeah.
So they were civilized. And when we were in the old days, they did, because there was no reason to be to put up their guard so much. They should tell the truth about it, and it wasn't nothing to do with civilization whatsoever.
No, that's what I'm saying to you. So what I'm saying is
savagery.
So what I'm saying is we have to be very mindful of like enhancing European history more than the time that they actually was around. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I never go further than Alexander the Greek. Yeah? Because at that time that's recorded history. That's recorded.
And even name Africa after himself, Alexandria, isn't it? He's still named that in Africa.
Yeah, and he never built nothing. He never built nothing.
He's still called that.
Yeah, of course it is. He's all over his name's all over the place, bro.
The Rhodesians don't change. Like we took it from Rhodesia to Zimbabwe, more likely to take place.
It's all lies, G. All lies.
I think what African Heritage people do, we need to rename the whole of Africa, and the Caribbean. We should rename the lot, man.
Of course, bro. We need to
rename it.
We need to reclean. We need to. What I said to you. We need to revamp. We need to clean house. Yeah.
Yeah, clean house. Yeah, I've heard you say that quite a few times. Yeah, we clean house. Yeah.
And like
we do.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is in a nutshell what is happening now all this gender bending, pedophilia, Aristotle, the ruling classes, the people with the most power in the Caucasian world, the men with young boys, the women with young girls, all come from democratic, old, influential, first example of democracy in Europe, in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Back again.
No, you're right.
But democracy is always known to explode at some time.
Yeah, but why are they bringing in...
All the empires
Yeah.
since they have adopted democracy, throughout, since it was introduced from ancient Greece to the rest of Europe in the Enlightened 14th century Renaissance, all the empires have risen and exploded and fallen and smashed to pieces in their ashes.
Mm.
So it's just a matter of time till the European and American democracies do the same.
Mm.
And it's usually because the aristocracy gets such an immoral example, an abusive example towards the masses, the lower class, the lay people, the lower class masses, that the lower class masses turn against them and kill them all, and then they just destroy themselves. And usually disease comes into it too. They're sort of playing for like, well, in the future they're going to be bestiality is going to escalate, whereas the young boys for the men could be enough, and young girls for the women could be enough to get into animals and spread some disease and kill everybody up or something, and wipe everybody out. But it always does end. Democracy isn't consistent. It does crash. The empire and the world, the rest of the world always crashed. The Roman Empire crashed, the Greek Empire crashed, the German Empire crashed, and all the other, even the Ottoman Empire crashed. But all the democracies, all the empires that have adopted the Greek example of democracy have always exploded and gone to nothing.
So basically, based on what you're saying there, on conclusion, right, with all these sexual deviant behaviours and modification and transformation,
What happened before?
And gender neutral
bendings
and transvestite, transgender. What else is there? I mean, there's so much things going on there, right? Yeah. So basically, they're bringing all this in, and basically that's gonna implode on society wherever that exists.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Because I tell you, and the main thing is, right, it's going to reduce fertility rates. The fertility rate is going to reduce for a start.
Which is happening already.
That's
why all the forecasters have advised Europe and America to bring in foreigners.
Yeah, but have you heard?
Who are going to be there when there's no more young people elder ones.
Let me put it to you now, yeah? And by the way, anybody can text in, by the way, on 079 31 276 232. What about the way things are going, yeah? Do you think that that we need to be looking at protecting the way that they're doing things? We need to protect ourselves from the things that they're doing. Yeah. In other words, right? If they're saying
keep your own thing, not be influenced by them.
Yeah, because what they're saying, I don't know if you heard, what they're saying
which they're doing in our own land, like African Caribbean, they're trying to force it down our throat, saying if Jamaica don't accept homosexuality, legalise it, they come down them financially. If certain parts of Africa don't.
Yeah, but you know,
homosexual, legalised homosexual, they come down on them.
But some of these governments have already given into that already. We know South Africa. South Africa was Mandela. Let's be real, right? The black leaders, okay, they're the ones just pushing it out there. Look at Barack Obama and look at Nelson Mandela. These are two. These are two pushers. They're pushers. Both pushing it. As if they ain't got nothing better to push.
I didn't think about that.
Right? So what I'm saying is this, yeah? There's this talk now that the Europeans are declining. Have you heard that?
Yeah, it's a fact.
Right, so they're saying they're declining, but yet they're pushing this agenda. They're pushing several agendas, okay? Because one of them you said about the beige babies. Yeah, this is what it is, beige babies. I talked about a few weeks ago, right? That's why they displace all of these people in Northeast Africa, you know, all these Arab countries, okay, and they're pushing them into Europe, right? These are what the elites are doing. They're doing that, yeah? They push them out, displace them, and now it's creating like, you know, this mixture, innit? This mixture of like people, isn't it? Yeah?
I love Africans are coming up. Let's see, billions of Africans are on to the West.
Right. So
billions of Africans want to leave
yeah.
the West. And
they're included as well. And maybe that's why there's a lot of mixing going on.
They don't seem to be highlighting the fact that a lot of Africans are coming. They seem to be concentrating more the Arabs.
Yeah. All right. So they're mixing up the people, right? They're mixing up the people. So there's another agenda. That's the second agenda going on. So they're manipulating this whole thing, innit? Right?
Yeah. But some of the people refuse like
yeah, but at the same time, no, let me stop you there, G.
The people don't want it, but the governments do.
Right, but at the same time,
the governments want the people to come. The governments want the people to come over here.
Yes,
but the people don't.
I agree with you. Absolutely, but at the same time,
the governments are going to lose out if they don't.
Yeah, but the third thing. Let me get to the third thing.
To run the countries.
Right, the third thing is that you got certain leaders or certain people in high positions, okay, of status, whether they're business people or political people, yeah, talking about depopulation.
Yeah.
Which is what Agenda 21 is about.
They're think tank, the statistician. This coincidence how it's finally come to Europe. It's a population decline because a lot of European people, American people, don't want no children. A lot of them are lesbian and gay.
Well, look at the young generation then.
Don't want to produce children, and the one that want to live independently. A lot of people, more people live alone now in the West. They never lived the whole history of bloody Western civilization.
Well, I played that.
Live alone.
You heard that video I played earlier on about wireless warfare exposed, yeah? And they're saying similar things to what you're just saying about social media, that young people are not socializing anymore.
No, they're not.
Like, you know, on a one-to-one basis now. It's everything's on the computer now, or smartphones.
On the computer, yes.
And things like that. And it's making them depressed.
Computer love.
Right, it's making them depressed, detached, suicidal, and a long list of things. Right? A long list of things. Right? Self-harming.
A-class structure, escape the depression.
Right.
Depressed,
but you know
what's
the most crucial thing is, yeah? They're not copulating.
That's right, yes.
Right.
And if they do copulate, a lot of them advise to copulate with the same sex.
Right. And the thing is, they're not producing any children. Right?
No, they're not.
They're not producing the children.
How much the same sex relationship is taking place.
Right. So what's...
It didn't be highlighted as much. It's not been highlighted in the media.
Yeah.
How much, to what degree same-sex relationship is taking place. But I can guarantee you, the main reason why there isn't enough children being born in Europe and America is because of same-sex marriage. I don't think you want to say that. It's really embarrassed to say it.
Yeah, I'm trying to read this text here, yeah? Go on. But text at 753... 1142.
Go on, read it again.
No, I can't see no text. I'll tell him to resend it, because I can't see no text, not on this phone, that was sent 1142. That was some time ago. All right, anyway, send it again, 753, but I don't see it here, yeah, unless there's something wrong with the phone. Apologies if the text did come. I can't see it, all right? So anyway, yeah, as you were saying...
So I better come off there and someone else want to phone up, man.
All right, cool. Thanks for your contribution, most definitely.
Yeah, big up, and thanks for clarifying the point that when I said that the Greeks, the Pythagoras, Aristotle, Socrates,
yes,
Plato, and that posse were the ones that influenced. They were the ones, the creators of the word democracy, the creators of the Greek culture, the art, the music, the plays, aesthetic, the politique, the law system, the political organisation, contract, the political system. You were right to correct me about where they got it from.
No, respect for that. You know, that's a honourable thing for you to say as well, and I love that. Keep
big up anyway, Sayshara. Big up, yeah?
Big up every time, brother.
Yeah,
G.
Jabberman.
More love and respect, one-on-one. Yeah, 753. Sorry, I don't know what happened with the texter, but as soon as he wanted to buy that channel, oh, this is referring to Bill Cosby. Thank you. It says as soon as he wanted to buy that channel, NBC, right? Just so we can clarify, yeah, we're talking about Bill. You know, we're kind of touching on Bill Cosby, only because we want to learn from his experience, right? As a father, all right, as a grandfather, as a brother to us as a people, okay? Whether we respect him or not, we still need to learn from that experience. Because how is it they're doing this at his late age? You know what I'm saying? And why is he going to prison? Yeah? I'm saying that they could have done it. If they wanted to do that, I know they set them up. This whole thing is set up, okay? Because he's done something. He's done something to these people. He's gone against the grain. He's basically ruffled a few feathers. You know, maybe he's got too big for his britches or for his boots. He's going around like, you know, no one can't touch him. He's got too comfortable in the white man's world. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens to black people. Just be real. And then one day, you know what I'm saying? You kind of land crash back onto Earth because you think you're somewhere in space, isn't it? Some people, they think, oh, I made it. I got everything. I'm good. Yeah, everyone's going to bow down to me. Everyone's going to do this, that, and the other. And then one day you realize how these people really are. They don't care about you. You're nothing to them. Yeah? They don't care about how much money you get, how much money you've earned, how many years you've been in the business, how much influence that you got. You got no power. Yeah? As an individual. Alright? 753 says, as soon as he went to buy that channel, NBC, that's when crap hit the fan for Bill. Plus the fact that, why did they let it till 55 years later, he has been set up even though he has done wrong. But then there's others out there who has got away with doing the same thing, if not worse. Yeah, right. And I always talk about, for example, Roman, what's it called? His name is Roman Polanski. Roman Polanski. Yeah? Can you imagine this person, Roman, I mean, there's so many stories, isn't it? So many stories, yeah? Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, pick from how many tens of thousands of these kind of characters that have a record of sexual abuse in children or women, right? Yeah, it's in the behavior pattern. Let's be real, yeah? Now, Roman Polanski, he's the one that done Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, he done Rosemary Baby. All right, he's done a lot of films, yeah? He was married to... remember he was married to someone that got murdered while she was pregnant, yeah? Alright? She was an actress as well, yeah? In a way, it was sad. It was a sad story what happened to his wife. But at the same time, this is a person that had sex with a minor. They say sex with a minor. Basically, when they say sex with a minor, they basically make it look normalized because it's rape with a minor, right? But they normalize it, yeah? And it's kind of weird. This person, to me, he's protected, right? But he's part of the same group of people in Hollywood, right? Where, you know, he's got to a certain level. He's a major producer, right? Director, yeah? I don't know, right? He's got contacts, yeah? But he's done this. He went to court. He was found guilty, yeah? But then he run off, innit? Somehow he managed to run off and go to some other country and hide. And up until today, he's still hiding and he's still making films, right? And no one's harassing him. I don't see no one harassing him at all, yeah? In fact, a lot of people support him. A lot of people in that environment, that the Hollywood environment, support him. Yeah. So look, where he pleaded guilty to statutory rape. Right. Born in Paris, Polish Jew parents. Okay. Just reading some notes here. Yeah. So, you know, some people can get away with things. Yeah, and become untouchable. Yeah. But as you know, that's not happened to Bill Cosby, right? So yeah, the NBC thing may be the start of his downfall. It's difficult to evaluate what is the reason, yeah? Because so many things have been going on. He's had a long life, you know what I'm saying? But obviously he's done something, and once you do something that they don't like, yeah, and I say they, I don't know who they are, right? But we know it's the elite, it's the people that's controlling things, yeah? They're the ones that's controlling things, yeah? And they know what they're doing. They definitely know what they're doing, I would say, yeah? I don't think that, in terms of that, do we know what we're doing, yeah? All right, so look, let me just have a short break, and I'll definitely want to come back to you on this, yeah? And take it from there.
We'll tell the people up the road and the one them downtown. The general come round, string up your big bad sound. Nothing never come down, go. Never. I know me alone, go. Burning like a fire. The general come round.
Oh Lord, like father, like son, the general a pass through. Give me little space, make me dolly pass you. I'm in afraid figure, grab up the mic and slow. Come steaming up like a ice palace too. General you want see a general you know. First class DJ, my well phenomenon. I'm a ram up when they dance with microphone in a me hand. But if a real general Selassie, you're the only one I listen to. I conquering lion, I'm from the land of King Solomon. Reign and rule over Ethiopian. Reign with the living ark of the covenant. More than the dwellings of Jacob and Abraham. So the Lord God love and holy Mount Zion. From Queen of Sheba comes David second. Don't notify the Vatican and
we'll tell the people up to and the one them downtown. The general come roll. String up your big bad sound. Nothing never come down, go. I know me alone, go. Burning like a fire. The general come round.
General come around, come round. Now make me wait when me come for me crown. His city act like a Kingston town. Zion a burn like a sun come down. Trumpet loud like a stone love sound. Tongue confess every knee bow down. Tell everything where you claim them a king for leave the compound. When I back up on me, if you make a way if it's a last with me. Zion and the cherubim them coming with me. Everything we do I feel the king glory. So everywhere we go judge them on the journey. And when the war time you know we sling ever ready. You know say by time you look we done everything already. How slew the giant them did that.
We'll tell the people up the road and the one them downtown. The general come roll. String up your big bad sound. Nothing never come down, go.
Never come down.
I know me alone, go. Burning like a fire. The general come round.
Never come me right and river stone in my left. Philistine I come in, but the nothing never friend. Me ever ready covenant, me never let it. Tell Goliath say I riot when me step in. When me dip and me come up and then me go for me puffy, me man dizzy and I stack up on the ground and me left it. Good Lord.
Chronics there once again. Alright, so I'm here, Sayshara back on the thread again. Alright, so look, I've got a few minutes that I'm gonna have to wrap up. Right, so look, we've just been touching on Bill Cosby. Okay, basically just what we can learn from that. Alright, what's happening there, yeah, and how are people affected? How are they feeling about that? Yeah, the most successful entertainer, you could say, being reduced to this level. How do people feel about that? Yeah, even though you might say, oh, he deserved it, you know what I mean? Because he's rubbing up with these people, he's going with these girls, innit? Why is he going with these girls? If you lie down with dogs, you're gonna get up with fleas, innit, and all of this stuff, right? That's how we say things, innit? Yeah. So is that a lesson, man? You know what I'm saying? Because what's happening is, yeah, maybe your past will catch up with you if you think you're safe. Your past will catch up with you, innit? Alright? You see what I'm saying? These things will come back to bite you, generally speaking. So people think they're getting away with things. You ain't getting away with things. This is a time right now where people's getting exposed more than ever. Alright? Maybe it's to do with the internet and the social media. Maybe it's meant to happen. It's the information age. This is the age of Aquarius. Alright? So we gotta just get savvy with the fact that people will be exposed. This is the time. Yeah? And nobody's immune from all of that stuff being exposed there. Yeah, no one's immune from that. Okay. Now I've got a couple articles I want to run through. I know I'm short on time. Let me read out Auntie Jean's text out again. Just remind all those people that you can go to Auntie Jean's African Cultural Market event, where it's what we call African History Month, for those people who want to go somewhere. And if there's any information out there that people want us to be aware of, please let us know. Yeah? Genesis Radio.
Let's just say two things very quickly and come off station. I don't hold up the show any longer.
Yeah.
What I would say, number one is, when Princess Diana died, her butler done a number of interviews on television on English BBC and ITV and Channel 4 TV stations. Live, you see his face. He was talking about the goings on in Buckingham Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that one of the royal family, the men, is liberated because he walks around the palace dressed as a woman. And also, he said a member of the royal family, a male member, raped a male member of staff that worked in the kitchen.
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on there. Remember there was this young man talking about that. They found him. They caught a picture of this young man coming down outside the walls of Buckingham Palace.
No, they caught one sitting on the bed in the Queen's room.
Yeah, I remember that as well, right? So you know there's a lot of iffy things going on, little shifty things going on there, bro. You know that? Well, they're normal, or they're abnormal. One of the two, and they're both. You know what I'm saying?
So, and that was so to do this elite business, getting away, certain Caucasian people getting away. That rape, a number of rapes, men being raped in Buckingham Palace by a member of the royal family was not investigated. That's one establishment crime that you can compare with the unfairness about Bill Cosby's treating. Another one was, I think, Bill Wyman. I think you remember the Beatles. Remember the Beatles?
No, Bill.
A while ago. Yeah. Bill Wyman.
No, isn't he Rolling Stones?
Well, you might be the Rolling Stones. Yeah, one of the two. Anyway, I see it on the front page of the News of the World paper. His girlfriend, who's in his 50s, in a big mansion out in the countryside, in this country somewhere, was living with him when she was 14.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. I think the first time I heard that.
And he married her at 17 or 16.
Yeah, I heard that. There was a singer with glasses. What's his name? Billy. Is it Billy Holloway? Billy. Anyway, he married a.
He's a Rolling Stone or Beatle, and nothing was done. It was seen as normal. Nothing was said that he's a paedophile. Nothing at all.
No.
By the media, British media, it was seen as normal.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
So there is definitely double standards going on.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
They want America didn't say, "Oh, we're not accepting him in our country because he's a paedophile." The American didn't say he's still doing his gigs in America.
Yeah, there's a lot of comparisons people are gonna make because they're gonna make these comparisons. There's no doubt about that.
And that person that said that Bill Cosby wanted to buy Andy, someone talking about that to me back in the day, and they said that Bill Cosby wanted to buy some TV company, and there was a big conspiracy against him, going against him about it. And they said the person that I was talking to concluded that it's racism if he's a black man. Don't want a black man to have that much power.
Well,
also when what's his name? He's on Death Row Record. What's his name? The black
who Suge Knight?
Suge Knight. Suge Knight. When Suge Knight, they want to buy Suge Knight's company. He ended up in prison, and he got his company off of him. When he's in prison, he sold his company when he's in prison.
Yeah.
Someone said, Caucasian man went to see him in prison, got his company off of him.
That's right.
He was in prison, you know.
Yeah.
And he was framed to get his company.
Yeah, because
his record company. So these things, that person that said that there could be conspiracy against Bill Cosby over having too much power as a black man, and people were spying against him to mash him up and tear him apart because of it. You're very highly likely possibility. That's all I'm just saying, Sayshara. I'm coming up now.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Big up, man. Big up, boss.
Big up every time. Big up every time. Yeah. All right. So let me just touch on Eugene's. All right. So just announcement. Okay. I just got a couple. I want to go through a couple articles and that's it. Then I'm done. Yeah. But I want to give this announcement out for Eugene's African Culture Market. by all means, yeah. And this will be happening, as you know, this is it the 1st? Right, it's gone past that. Yeah, it's the 1st of the month of October, alright? So yeah, we're talking about so-called Black History Month, or we call it African History Month, okay? We know every day is our day, innit? Yeah, every day that we live in, that's our experience, yeah? So here we've got this event, alright? African Culture Market event, the returning of 3 heavyweight kings, Andrew Muhammad, Tony Warner and Robin Walker, Sunday the 21st of October, which is going to be held at the Auditorium University Lewisham Hospital, Lewisham High Street, SE13 6LH. And yeah, the early bird tickets are £7 or £10 at the door. For further information or for tickets or stalls, you can call 07961 886 032. I repeat, call Auntie Jeans for further information on 07961 886 032. Alright, for further tickets. Alright. I had all my information up. I'm gonna have to go in a minute, yeah, because it's all gone. But I had so much stuff up, man. It's just all gone, man. I'm telling you, I don't want to have to go through it again, yeah. But this is very interesting. Yeah, let me just cut to this. Yeah, this article. Yeah, this is interesting. I touched on it last week. Yeah. This one went underneath the radar. No one actually talked about this, okay? That China, remember I talked about China, yeah? China now is raising itself up, man, into African and Caribbean culture, right? But this report, no one never talked about this, yeah? Interesting. But it says here, China rejects claim it bugged headquarters and built for the African Union. So maybe no one doesn't know what's happening, yeah? But hear this, yeah? It says China and the African Union. This is what they're saying. The African Union dismissed on Monday a report that Beijing had bugged the regional bloc's headquarters, which it built and paid for in the Ethiopian capital. French newspaper Le Monde quoted anonymous African Union sources saying that data from computers in the Chinese building had been transferred nightly to Chinese servers for 5 years. After the hack was discovered a year ago, the building's IT system, including servers, were changed, according to Le Monde, during a sweep for bugs after the discovery. Microphones were also found hidden in desks and the walls, the newspaper reported. The 200 million headquarters was fully funded and built by China, opened to great fanfare in 2012. It was seen as a symbol of Beijing's trust for influence in Africa and access to the continent's natural resources. So what I'm saying is this, like, yeah, it says here, look, also as in, let me continue, as in the Ethiopian capital, China's investment in roads and rail infrastructure are highly visible across the continent. At a 2015 summit in South Africa, Chinese President Xi Jinping pledged, I don't know if that's his name pronounced, alright, I'm just saying it, yeah? Anyway, pledged 60 billion in aid and investment to the continent, saying it will continue to build roads, railways and ports. Chinese and African officials who were in Addis Ababa for the bloc's annual summit denied Le Monde's report. China's ambassador to the African Union, Kuyang Welin, called the article ridiculous and preposterous and said its publication was intended to put pressure on relations between Beijing and the continent. China-African relationships have brought about benefits and a lot of opportunities. Africans are happy with it, others are not. Asked who he referred to, he said people in the West, they are not used to it and they are simply not comfortable with this. Paul Kagame, Rwanda's president, who assumed the African Union chairmanship this year, said he did not know anything about it. But in any case, I don't think there's anything done here that would not like people to know. So he's saying that you don't think there's anything that people need to know, yeah? But I would not have been worried about being spied on in this building. His only concern, he said, was that the African Union, instead of China, should have built the headquarters. You know, it's that's a big gripe, isn't it, really, isn't it? Yeah? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you couldn't say any plainer in English, yeah? We should have been able to build our own building. He's quoting and saying that. This is the president of Rwanda saying this, right? So, you see, I don't know if these leaders are learning anything. Let's be real. They're not learning anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, they're gonna spend. Do you imagine? I don't know how much China went into this, man. This one building, yeah, that cost $200 million, and then they're saying that in 2015 they're pledging 60 billion. 60 billion. That's a lot of dosh. You know what I mean? That's like, what's that? That's more than 1 billion a week. That's a lot of money, right? So once they do all this stuff, okay, literally they're gonna own Africa, because and the thing is that building for 200 million was given. That 200 million, China just write it off. We just write 200 million off. We're just gonna build a building for you for nothing. Nobody does anything for nothing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah? But I don't know where Africa's going, because I'm telling you, they're doing some crazy stuff over there, man. Not everybody, but I'm just saying, not every leader's like off key, but you know, certain leaders are off key, man. You know what I'm saying? You got Ghana, they're talking about building some massive cathedral. I don't even know how much that's gonna cost in Ghana. You know that Nigeria built some massive Jesus that costs millions again. It's supposed to be as 40-foot Jesus, you know what I'm saying? A white Jesus as well. So anyway, you know, but going back to what I just want to touch on what G said about these philosophers, yeah? As far as I'm concerned, they never existed, all these philosophers. They didn't have no knowledge, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to credit themselves, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to get credit, take credit for things they never did. They never created no mathematics or no physics or anything like that. That came a lot later, man. That came during the Renaissance period of the 15th and 16th century. That's when they started their pastime hobbies in doing research into science and you know, different advances in knowledge and things like that. Yeah. Before that, there was just warmongers. They didn't have no time to do anything but to go around and warring with a whole group of people, different groups of people. You know, this was happening. So yeah. So there you have it. Obviously China's gonna bug your bloody building. You give them, you know, that just shows you, can you trust them, right? Can you trust them? Yeah. If they bug your building, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine you said that. In a way, they deserve that, innit? They deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to get that, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Because why didn't you just build a building yourself, innit? Right? And the Chinese, they're good at that, man. They're good at all of these things, man. They've been doing it for years. What are you talking about? Yeah, they're good at bugging people and spying on people and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You think they don't do that? Yeah, they do it. They do it, man. And they're hacking computers and all of this stuff. So basically, they had a field day. But like the president of Rwanda said, okay, they didn't really. I mean, they ain't really hiding nothing, are they? There's not. I think African leaders have got nothing to hide, man, because they're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not really doing anything. They're not making weapons of mass destruction. It's the only thing, to me, I don't know, there's maybe loads of different secrets out there that you can keep out there, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, secret intelligence and, you know, what's things that you need to protect for your national interests and security and things like that. Yeah, there's loads of things that, you know, other countries don't need to know. They don't need to know that, yeah? But to me, it's like they done it and they just got away with it. Nothing's been said about it. They didn't get penalised for it or nothing. Oh, it's the Chinese, they done it. Well, they're investing. It's like they're investing in your country, so that means you can't tell them what to do. You're not gonna. This is what's happening. You're not gonna be able to tell them. You're not gonna take the courage to tell them what to do because you know there's 60 billion coming out of their coffers, out of their treasury, right? So you're gonna have all these leaders, right, buttering up to them, yeah, sucking up to the Chinese government, right? This is what's gonna happen, right? And I'll tell you this much, yeah. What's gonna happen? It's definitely gonna be like the Chinese takeover, right? It's definitely gonna be like the Chinese takeover. They're gonna really take over that place, man, and in the Caribbean, because the leaders, they're only thinking about today. They're only thinking about now, what they can get now, right? So obviously, if they can do a deal with the Chinese or the Arabs or the Asians, if they can do some mega deals, they're gonna do it, because they're thinking about what they can get now. They're looking at, they're gonna get something from that deal right now, right? And our people, unfortunately, are nowadays people. They want things like right now. They don't want to. We don't think we need things for the future, you know. Like it's like we're not looking to have no future. It's kind of weird, really. It's kind of really weird what's happening there, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so look, I got a track. Alright, I think I'm just gonna leave in a minute, yeah? Because I'll just leave everything till next week, yeah? Like I said, don't forget anything that's going on. Please, whatever you do, keep the peace, yeah? And always respect other people, okay? Irrespective of where they come from, which we do, right? But we have to be very mindful about, you know, the kind of language that we're going to use in public, yeah. Now, like I said, somebody's talking extreme. A young person you know, it's amazing. It's a young person talking extreme about Hang the Whites music video as French paper under investigation. Is he after publicity? Is this kind of conversation going to be trending with these young people? Are they, you know what I'm saying? They got a mind of their own, young people, man. I'm telling you this much. They got a mind of their own, man. They're not waiting for nobody, man. They're just getting on with it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I said, they need some guidance. They need to go to a place where they can see there's a structure, there's an order. You know what I'm saying? When they can't see anything, yeah, then they're just going to take things in their own hands. Yeah, which is what's happening. And so now you've got this young man letting off now, saying, but and the reason why he's letting off is because obviously he feels highly passionate, maybe emotional and grieved about what's happened to his ancestors. And I feel the same. I'd feel the same. Definitely. I think the most important thing is what I mean when it comes to reparations. Okay, a lot of people talk about a lot of things, but the most important thing to me, because all the other stuff is irrelevant, because without what happened to our ancestors, we can't talk about reparations. What are you talking about? Yeah, the main objective that we need to really know and understand and focus on, I think this is where this whole thing is going wrong, pear-shaped, yeah, is that we're meant to be focusing on the genocide of what happened to our ancestors, the injustices, the crime that's been done. And I say this to people because a lot of people want to refute all of that stuff and they want to ignore all that stuff and deny all that stuff. But the reality is, okay, if somebody comes to your house, yeah, and rapes, kill, murder, rob, pillage, and all of these things, okay, right? You're going to want justice for your family. Alright? You're going to want that. So why shouldn't we want that? Why are we going to deny that? Oh, it happened hundreds of years ago, Sayshara, blah, 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 blah. Right? So we've got no morals, we've got no ethics, we've not got principles, we've got no balance. Right? We've got no respect. You see what I'm saying? It's like we don't care about our own people when we start dismissing this idea, right? That we should forget what happened about our ancestors. Okay, it happened hundreds of years ago, but that's my blood. That's my blood. That's my people's blood, yeah? And that's, today, what's happening is, if anything happens to anybody around with our people, that's my blood, that's our people's blood. We're supposed to shed crocodile tears for that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? We're supposed to have empathy for our people. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? When our people are treated, especially where crazy injustices are happening, crazy injustices, and the same injustices are still going on today, yeah? Alright? And yeah, I think that this whole thing is gonna have to be able to come to a place where somebody has to be accountable for that damage that's been done. Somebody's got to be responsible for that. You can't just go, oh, we're talking about Black History Month or African history. What about our ancestors? Let's pay homage to what happened to them. Then, you know what I'm saying? Not just talk about, oh, you know, the niceties. But you just forget about that. That's why they give you the Bible, the Quran and the Torah, to forget your ancestors. So now you're indoctrinated and you don't care about your ancestors. You lost any connection to your great-grandfather or great-grandmother. Your history is a blank. It's blankety blank. Right? Because if you don't know anything about your great-grandfather and your great-grandmother, really, what is our story? Right? So what I'm saying is that the whole thing about the reparations process, there is no process at the moment, but there should be. And the way I'm looking at it, yeah, it should be done in a way. There should be a process. There should be a list of things that needs to be processed. It should go through a processing period, right? Everything needs to be correlated in its compartment, right? So we know, well, we're focusing on these different stages or these different steps. There should be steps to take us to where we need to get to. But at the moment, there's nothing. Everyone's talking about money, yeah? And I'll tell you the truth, maybe we should focus on the money as well. Not just focus on one thing. Maybe we should focus on a list of things like 10 things, boom, there it is. But not just focus on one thing. What's the top things that we need to focus? What's the top 10 things that we need to focus on? Reparations. Let's focus on those top 10 things. Not just one thing. Oh, it's all about repairing. Fine. So what about the genocide? Yeah? I think everything is relevant. Everything is relevant. The money is relevant. Do you get what I'm saying? I think that if people's interested in the money, let's go with that. Let's say that. Because if the majority of people say, oh, let's talk about the money, let's talk about the money. Let's go with that. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's part of it as well. Because we, as you know, we were commodities, we were stocks and shares and all that stuff, okay? So we can't just ignore the major issue, the major reason why we even got here or how we got here and why we're here. It's because a lot of people died for us. They sacrificed their lives, whether we like it or not, whether we want to accept it or not. That's just a fact. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. How did we get here? Yeah? So, I think the focus on our story should be based on our ancestral kings, okay? As well as today, as well as what's going on today and what achievements that we've accomplished over the past. Yeah, all the inventions and all the innovations and all the things that we created, the design we built, and all of these things. We need to bring all of this stuff in to our place where, you know, young people can be proud of us to see that, yeah, we have done things, we've been doing things, always been doing things. There hasn't been a time we haven't been doing things. We've always been doing things, okay? But we're at the moment, at the present moment, unfortunately, where we're not doing things enough for ourselves, where we're spending a lot of time and energy and our resources doing for everybody else, okay? Yeah? We're following a system, okay, that's not designed for us to prosper, to benefit from, the most from, and to be able to utilize the most from or gain from, yeah? Simply because we've got poor leaderships around the place, yeah? And maybe the leaders that we've got, they need strengthening. They need strengthening in some shape, or we need to have structures in place to counterbalance where leadership are going wrong, and there's going to be accountability. There's got to be accountability, right? You've got black people coming. I'm going to go into this, yeah, at some point, yeah, in this couple of weeks, to show you the connections between the difference between what's responsible, yeah, what's being responsible, what's responsibility is all about, and the opposite to that, which is what's irresponsible. What are we doing that's irresponsible? What are people doing that's irresponsible? What's the actions of our people? Why they feel that they may give us like the impression that they're doing things for their people, when in actuality they're the advisor. Remember, they're the advisor to the king. You see what I'm saying? Before they come to us, to come deal with us on a level, yeah? So we've got some of our leaders, unfortunately, I'm going to go into that, yeah? Like I said, just keep it locked in and tuned in to www.genesisradio.co.uk, and we will go over some stuff to do with what are called Black Masons, or secret societies, or fraternities, clubs, and you know, anything that really, like, you know, Greek fraternities, you know what I'm saying? What's that all about? Why black people joining Greek fraternity? That's not us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we kind of, you find that a lot of people that can do things are not able to do anything because they're joined up with some organization or some society, yeah, that won't allow them to be able to help their people. And I think one of the conversations I had with Brother G that we could have expounded on was, and the text that mentioned something about the thing to do with Bill Cosby and buying NBC, is that one of the things is that the system doesn't want black people to have corporations, right? They don't want us to have corporations, yeah? As well as having their own schools and all this stuff, okay? There's certain things that you can't have. Like, for example, I think there's a problem with the banking system. I can't remember what it is, but somebody said to me that there's a bank called Ghana, right? Bank of Ghana's, they've got their own bank. Ghana's got their own bank, right? Where they exchange in their own currency. But the only thing is that they can only do so much. They're limited to what they can do. They're not like ordinary banks, yeah, where you can join up and have a current account and stuff like that. I think with this Ghana bank, you have to have X amount of money and all of this stuff. That there's like what you call ropes that you gotta climb to get to join with that bank. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we have to be able to do better than that. Somehow we need to do better than that. Yeah. So what I'm saying is we haven't got our own banks. Yeah. So I'm not sure what can we have. What do we have? You know what I'm saying? What do we have? That we can say that's ours and that we control it outright. Because if we're going the same route as the African Union, or we're going to depend on somebody else to give us things, to do our building, to put all our equipment in and our furniture in and everything. Just do everything. Just rely on them to do everything for you. This is in 2012, you know. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like we're going backwards. Straight up, man. This is African Union, man. This is the African Union. This is where all these leaders, all the leaders in Africa come together to sort out their business. And yet they can't sort out their business in building their own building, financing their own building and furnishing and nothing. They couldn't do nothing. What did they do? You know what I mean? It makes you wonder. Alright, so look. It's that time of day. I'm going to be out of here. Alright, I've said too much. I still had a lot of stuff to go through. I had so much articles to go through, but this ain't going to go through right now. Yeah? And just keep it locked here and tuned in to Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.co.uk. I really wanted to talk about stuff to do with weather modification, and like I've been trying to hint to people, go to Project Cirrus. Cirrus is spelled CIRRUS. Cirrus, Project Cirrus. Do a little stuff, research if you get time. Do a little stuff, because I will be looking at talking about and just getting an inside. It's to do with technology once again, science and technology. A lot of things that sometimes people are not interested in that, but you know, initially I started off talking about these cell phones, or I shouldn't say cell phones, smartphones, and wireless, okay, Wi-Fi and things like that, yeah. So if you know, for those people just locked in and just tuning in and want to know what I was talking about earlier, I played one information. I got so much that I wanted to dub, but obviously time. But if you go to Wireless Warfare Exposed, Declassified Military doc proves smartphones are killers, alright? So, you know, that, you know, all I can say is, you know, I know people's going to get this information, but they're going to probably forget about it, or they're just not going to do anything about it, or they don't think it's relevant, it's not important, right? But like I said, you know, you may look at that in terms of yourself and think, oh, it's just me, innit? Yeah? But think about your children and the younger generation, more importantly, yeah? And how we're raising our children up around things that are radioactive, and that everything to do with those things needs parental guidance. So give the young people, young children, the awareness, get them to be informed, allow them, give them the opportunity to be informed, allow them to be informed, okay? So they know, make them be aware, guard them, yeah? So, like I said, they can prevent these things affecting their body, their skin. You know, it does cause a lot of issues, right? And if you listen to that information, it gives you a long list. And if I can, I'll try and get that list of the different effects of what smartphones or wireless equipment does, alright? I'm going to definitely try and get that list, alright? Because I think that's important, yeah? And just, you know, like I said, if you're not interested in that, at least get your children to a place where they know what's happening there, yeah? Alright, so look, I want to say once again, thanks for your time and your energy, and we'll watch out, we'll look out for what's going on out there. I think just I did want to touch on so many things, yeah. But there's no point me even talking about it, yeah, because I can't give it any substance, right? So, yeah, on that note, I'm going to leave you with that. I want to big up everybody, the family, my daughter Samara, Shireen, son Dwayne Ash, Marsha, big up Marsha, Marsha's family. I want to big up all the people out there, organisations, foundations, associations, groups, the collective, one group of people, one nation of people. Sayshara says I'm out until next time.
This is the People Station.